Ah, babies, you never know what they'll get up to when you're not around. But what's this? We're around. That's right. This baby has a very special guardian, all of you. Raise this baby however you all wish. Just know that your choices can and will impact how she grows and learns. To get you started, I've given her some early life stages interests. Name her Alice Franklin. What are your interests? Pour yourself a nice cup of hot golden tea. Name her Alice Franklin. Who? Alice Franklin appears to be trying to tell her proud guardians that she likes her owl friend. She appears to have blessed it with the name Who. The owl should feel very proud and lucky to have a name. Tea! What perceptive guardians you are! You have suggested another of little Alice's interests, tea parties. She looks like she's having fun drinking some pretend hot tea with Who. Check the poster on Alice's room's wall. Ni hao, Kyla! Oh my! Alice will surely grow up to be very perspective with such eagle-eyed and curious guardians. Yes, in fact, Alice is taking a liking to watching a TV show called Ni Hao Kai Lan. She is already opening her mind to new cultures. Play some education games with Alice. Maybe she likes to learn about shapes and will one day become an artist. Open dresser. What an interesting choice! I'm sure this will make her more smart and creative at the same time, but I'm not sure she'll be able to... Oh God, we've created a monster, an adorable tiny monster. Damn, I guess in the future we need to be more careful whom we issue the commands to. Alice, get down from the drawer. We'll train her superpowers a little later. Open drawer manually and find something to dress her up in, if there's something available. Alice Franklin, be named Betty DeFam. Be actual monster. Help Alice down the drawer. There we go, down safe and sound. I think she likes her new outfit too. Unfortunately, we may have to wait until Alice is a little older before turning her into a real monster or to change her name again. Who? Be agitated and lonely. He has separation anxiety. Being alone is suffering. Alice, you're quite the climber. Try to open that door. There. Alice, try to climb that door. It seems like a locked door is a little too hard for a talented little climber. Hee hee. Cuddle with Who and sing it a song. Na 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 na. Alice successfully comforts Who with a nice hug and a pretty song. Look in some more drawers for interesting things. Oh, looks like our little adventurer has found a book. Climb into drawer with Who and be transported into a magical world called imagination. It seems like Alice is having a hard time using her imagination. I wonder why. Read book. Gain experience in imagination. Play peekaboo with Alice. Peek-a-pee? Alice spends time learning how to read. Maybe this will help her get imagination. Peekaboo, Alice. Hello. Wait, what were we just doing? Probably nothing important. Who's a cute baby? You are. Dance to gain dexterity. Be the emissary of dance. Look at her go. What a cute dance. Good job. You're the best at dancing. What's that piece of furniture in the bottom corner? Check it out. Mystical entities galore. Behold, the mysterious and all-powerful bookcase. We've seen a lot of her room now. How about the garden? Let's get Alice and Who some sun. Who? Implant imagination into Alice's head. I'm sorry, Who, but I think even your vast wisdom cannot bless his imaginationless style. Who? Always stay on Alice's head. Here we see the rare human baby and the Who in their natural habitat, the garden. Keep crawling to adventure. Adventure ho! Smell flower. Alice sniffs the flower. It looks like she isn't allergic to them. Good work, Alice. Put flower into inventory. Continue crawling. Oh my, Alice's inventory is getting rather full. I can imagine she's looking forward to when she's old enough to have a bigger one. Meanwhile, Who has a flower hat now. Alice and Who, experience level up. Alice and Who, look for beautiful butterflies. Congratulations! You figured out the password needed to help Alice age up. Welcome to childhood. They grow so fast. Oh, look, a butterfly! Alice, run around and enjoy the weather playing. Let's climb a tree and build on that superpower she has. Alice, climb a tree. After running some laps around the garden, Alice successfully climbs a tree. She will become the ultimate climber, like no one ever was. What's in the tree hole? Who? Have an existential crisis. She peers inside the tree. Nothing. For some reason, you feel like Who isn't very happy all of a sudden. Let's teach her basic Talaxian. Who? Be placed in the tree hole and pretend you're a real owl. Alice, climb to the very top of the tree and look off into the distance. Be inspired. Alice, jump on roof. Alice, succumb to the charms of Betty DeFam via Con Air seduction. Ching ching. Hello to you too, Alice. Who feels like a real owl? Alice enjoys the view from the tree with pleasure. Unfortunately, the tree is too far away from the roof for Alice to safely make it across, unless you really want to risk hurting your child. And, I'm afraid not even the greatest source of knowledge knows of Betty DeFam via Con Air, so it's unlikely Alice does either. Alice, estimate how likely your success is given your current jumping skill. Do you think you can do it? Who? Be ready to catch Alice if necessary. Float to the roof, for you are magic. Oh my god, you actually... Yeah. How did you guys think that was gonna go? How? Lose experience and revert back to baby. Gain experience and become a teenager. You learn from your mistakes. Shake head at irresponsible guardians. Check on Alice. Are you hurt? Check for broken extremities and bruises and comfort her. Who? You better head catch her. Who? Become real. Aftermath. As much as everyone wishes they could go back in time, we cannot rewrite the past. Alice grows into a fine young teenage girl, very much having learnt her lesson for trying to jump onto the roof. She won't be jumping or climbing for a very long time. She appreciates the comfort. Who did their best, but alas, they were a plush owl and could not move. Are you happy now, Con Air? Alas, it seems that some things just cannot be undone. Alice, play basketball in the backyard. Maybe your friends want to join you too. Or do they live too far away? Enter the court. Time to shoot some hoops. All of Alice's friends are online. She's been making friends by teaching foreign kids how to speak English. Who? Acquire flower accessory. Alice, score like Charles Barkley is watching. You're an all-star. Afterwards, Alice, chat with Jose on your instant messaging tool of choice. Who? Acquire flower accessory. Curious Painter began pestering budding dancer. Hola, Jose. How are you? Hola, Alice. I'm God. No. Good. I am good. How are you? I am also good. What are you doing? I am dance. You? Dancing. I am playing basketball. Baloncesto. Oh, basketball. Okay, have go now. Teacher is returned. Okay, have fun. Goodbye. Goodbye. Curious Painter ceased pestering budding dancer. It seems like she's still trying to learn English, but she'll get there. Be the Curious Painter. Paint something. Alice spends her time painting. Alice, be a sci-fi painter. Paint fantastic landscapes and vistas on strange worlds. Or paint a house. What an alien, yet strangely familiar painting Alice has done. Buy a copy of Spirit of Justice, play through to Case 5, and then paint a picture of Betty DeFarm. Hang your painting on the wall. Many hours of gaming on a green Nintendo DS later, a picture of Betty DeFarm was painted. Alice hangs both pictures on the wall. Talk to a different friend. Check on your best friend. Maybe you can meet her in town for lunch. Throw Who out the window and into the basketball net. Admire your amazing art. Become an artist in college. Alice, pass the GH. Alice talks to one of her other friends. Curious Painter began pestering gravitating historian. Hello, Tabir.
Hallo Alice.
Wie geht's?
Mir geht. Es gut, danke.
What are you doing?
Studying history.
Oh, which part this time?
World War II. Want to hear about it?
I'd love to, but I think I'm going to be busy.
Alright, that's fine. See you later.
Bye. Curious Painter ceased pestering gravitating historian. Unfortunately, all of Alice's friends are still on different countries, so we're not gonna be able to meet for any lunch in town. Alice feels a bit too bad about throwing her owl out of the window. He doesn't deserve that. She definitely admires her artistry. She will consider greatly about applying for art college when she is old enough. Change your outfit. Shake things up a little. Alice, swap your color palette. I think Alice suits blue. What do you think? Black is always fashionable. How about a poll? Paint a picture of every Spirit of Justice villain. Paint a picture of Who. I think Alice is a little painted out at the moment. The best Who is the real Who. Blue is always lovely, my dear. Alice, watch some TV and take up knitting. Alice, pester a local friend of yours if you have one. Alice stays dressed in a lovely shade of blue and watches some good old TV. And well, to be honest, Alice is pretty sure it's a miracle she has any friends at all, considering. Investigate. Mind blown to pieces. Recovering 15%, 42%, 83%, 216. Wait, what? Alice, try to recall the history of the spaceship you're on. Wow, I really didn't expect this to take the current direction. Props for catching me off guard. It's okay. I still love you very much. I'm afraid you will have to be more specific, chuckled Yes.exe. Your programming isn't quite advanced enough to calculate an infinite number of things for Alice to investigate. This might be a little surprising for you, Slangins.exe, but it appears the AI on the ship has gained a little more awareness of itself than originally intended. Sorry about that. You see, the world Alice has been in all this time was actually something created by the combined programs of different AI inside a ship to make it a habitable, normal life to raise little Alice here from birth to, well, you know, the last stage, I'm sure. Her bedroom, the garden, anything else specific you wish for her to enjoy, Alice gladly accepts it all. What else could make a baby float? Haha. As you've seen, though, your AI does have some limitations. Alice has her own will, and there will be some consequences for dangerous thought that comes from a bug in your system, which is why the human you've raised is now in a wheelchair. I hope you still follow your intended programs and continue to raise Alice. Please do not cause further bugs in the system. Thank you. This is preposterous. I am not a program. Also, narrating overseer voice, my subroutines are currently having problems with access violations. I demand to know the purpose of the ship and the raising process. Sudo clarify purpose -v-f. Meanwhile, Alice, report your leg status. Do you feel anything? I'll research what we can do for you. Wheelchair, become robotic legs. Alice, reveal that you don't need a wheelchair and stand up on your own 2 feet like Army Buff from your game. Exposition care package. Alright, settle down you lot. Remember when I said normal life? Please stop giving the other machinery commands outside of their intended functions. As we've already gone over previously, I'm afraid Alice's legs are very much unusable right now, as much as she wishes she could walk for you all. Now, I don't usually do this, but I suppose you do all deserve some kind of explanation. This ship is known as TLWRT, which is short for the project name that caused the ship to be made in the first place, the life we raised together. This is one of the 6 ships set on a course for the closest habitable planet. Each ship contains a child. 1 from the USA, China, Russia, Spain, Germany, and France. The purpose of this? To settle a new world for peace and to live on through them. Your sacrifices were very honourable. Thank you. And I'm so sorry. I can't really identify what's in the last image. Alice, try knitting a little hat for who? This will be cute. I think it's probably a good thing that you couldn't tell that. Totally not bone dust or blood. Nah. That aside, duh. Look at the cute hat. Well, okay. So, how long is the travel of Alice going to take, prospectively speaking? Some 5 months, or more like 15 years in the stimulated environment to be governed for her. We need to do some long-term planning for this. Alice, try doing a wheelchair race with yourself for some fun, speed and action. We'll stop the time. The planned time for this travel has been precisely and intentionally calculated to be 18 years. So far, the voyage has been in progress for 13 years. Each human child is now 13 years old. If we had the technology to control time, this project wouldn't have ever been thought of. Alice does like a good race, though. Alice, take inspiration from art, buy cosplay clothes, dress up as Betty DeFam for life.
Hold it!
Alice, buy purple hair dye your hair purple, buy hair stiffener, style hair into Betty DeFam's, outgrow love of Who, throw him into the basketball net. Roleplay with one of your friends that knows about Ace Attorney. Gain super speed, run into Spirit of Justice universe or roll in your wheelchair. Dope slap the prosecutor and take his place. Check wallet. Daemon 0083. Errors were encountered during the execution of con_error.exe. It is recommended to check the program for eventual segmentation faults. 40-bit addresses 0 times 0 0 0 0 0 0 1 Betty DeVam. 40-bit addresses 0 times 0 0 0 0 0 2 Turnabout Spaceship. 40-bit addresses 0 times 0 0 0 0 0 0 3 Uninteresting Sidekick. Warning: Kernel does not respond. Reverting /dev/Alice/Alice.body into earlier state. Alice, return to sanity. Aliens, go back in time before the glitch. Delete it so that everything can happen. Whoops! Yukonair.exe. What glitch? I assure you, you're probably the only glitch around here. Glitch. Oi, no, you get out of here, you. How did you even get back in the folder? Damon 0083. Segmentation fault at address 0 0 0 0 7 6 2 3. Restarting kernel. At kernel narrator. I recommend running a full system check and rebooting. This fragmentation unit must not hinder Alice's life. Alice, you may issue wishes for new entertainment objects. Alice, study robotics so you can build yourself a cool mecha suit. Alice, take inspiration from art, buy cosplay clothes, dress up as Betty DeFam for life. Alice, move to a tiny island in the Pacific, utterly cut off from the outside world, where you will never be able to dress up as or even hear of anything related to Betty DeFam. Don't worry exactly about who Betty DeFam is, just know it's not someone you've ever got to meet. Islands not exist. Forget about Ace Attorney characters and learn robotic knitting. Robotics is a little like knitting. Alice seems to be supposing anyway. All these wires. Alice is completely right. Maybe she can augment her wheelchair to have a computer built in. This feels strangely familiar. Alice, buy a remote-controlled drone and joystick. Cosplay as army buff. Alice, knit yourself a cool sweater. Time for even more skill grinding. Nice and warm. Time to check up on progress. How's Alice's imagination? Alice, imagine you could fly over the city of your dreams. You should probably have some horticulture skills. Grow a garden. Alice, put Who and DS on wheelchair. Alice still seems to be unable to imagine anything. So annoying. Alice plants some seedlings whilst Who and the DS appearify onto Alice. Alice, buy Professor Layton game. Play it. Tend to your garden. Guys, I just had a thought. What if Alice can't imagine anything because she's part of the simulation? What in here isn't a program? Alice waters her plants and plays some of her Professor Layton and Phoenix Wright crossover game on her DS. We're very sure Alice is human, but perhaps there's something to be concerned about when it comes to imagination, as this seems to be somewhat of a strange occurrence. Invest character tokens into the imagination stat. Let's look at her skills chart and... oh dear. Meditate to gain imagination skill. Now this is interesting. Maybe we have given her so much to do that she never had the opportunity to develop an imagination. Check on Alice's health status for neurotransmitters. Maybe she's being inhibited by something. Aphantasia. Whilst Alice focuses on meditating, I'll just explain what might be causing... oh, well, this explains a lot. Damn, that's a bummer, but I don't know what to do about this. How about some psychotherapy? Unfortunately for Alice, it seems she's been born with a completely blind mind's eye. Any thin chance she might have had of visualizing anything is probably impossible, even with our current technology. Don't worry, she won't suffer from this, and it's technically not classed as a disability. She just won't be able to picture anything in her head or imagine. Wait, how did she make the paintings then? I sense conspiracy. Anyways, Alice, study a logical discipline of your liking. The computers will help you learn, preferably maths and physics. Alice, immerse yourself in arithmetic. Psh, you don't have to be able to imagine or think visually to be creative. Alice starts to study some good old mathematics on her little computer. Alice, level up. Sweet 16's incoming. Have we met all of your friends? Maybe you should check up on all of them. Alice, pester MF and EO. Alice pesters her last two friends from the other two remaining spaceships. Curious Painter began pestering Musical Future. Hello, she. Hello, Alice. How are you? I'm all right, thanks. I've been growing a garden lately. What have you been doing? Oh, me? I've been talking to Tabir about some history. It was actually quite interesting. It's nice to hear you have a shared interest. Do you like games? Little. Only the music ones, though. Fair enough. Oh, speaking of Tabir, he appears to be back from his studies. See you later, Alice. See you. Musical Future ceased pestering Curious Painter. Hello, Nadezhda.
Привет. Как поживаешь?
Прекрасновати?
Спасибо. Хорошо.
Trying to Russian aside, what you doing?
Haha, you will get there, friend. I am just jogging around a bit, trying to stay active.
Sounds like lots of fun.
No fear, Alice. You can stay active too. Show those wheels who is boss and keep up your good energy.
I guess so.
What kind of response is that?
No pain, no gain, sir.
Good. See you.
Oh, bye. Energetic Optimist ceased pestering Curious Painter. Sing a duet with MF. Go back inside and have the grilled cheese sandwich. Nom nom. That was a yummy cheese sandwich. Glitch. Make it so that Alice's imagination is maxed out. Alice, summon Professor Layton. Do the dishes. Check the recycling. Check your stats and skills. Alice, hone those stats and skills. Here are Alice's current skills. Draw a robot. That would raise both skills, right? Now think bigger. You need a robot owl you can ride. Looking good. Who needs some wings though? And maybe up that intelligence stat plenty. Alice uses her inbuilt computer to learn some advanced maths to do the calculations for her new Hubot design. It looks like she's struggling a bit though. Ask your friends if anyone else is learning robotics, or perhaps can help you with the calculations. The Hubot will need a specialized computing scheme. A deep neural network would give Who the capacity to learn some things. But how to set up one? Alice, having learned baby maths, proceeds to abstract logical programming. I don't think there are a lot of programmers in your circle of friends, and there surely will be a demand on the new planet. Also, never give up. Alice reads a book about abstract logical programming. She agrees that her friends most likely haven't dabbled in robotics or programming. Their interests are much less technological. Alice will do her best and never give up. Alice, bask in the glory of your creation. After 4 weeks of hard work and research, it is complete. WhoBot has been successfully constructed. Or did we want to call Alice's invention something else? Alice, name the WhoBot MKI Whoman. Alice names the robot Human. Human, initialize. Rotten Robbie threatened to make Alice watch the B-movie if she doesn't include Betty DeFam in the next panel. Aliens also realize that the program is glitch-free. Human, introduce yourself. Number 5 is alive. Alice and Human have their first conversation. Hello, Human. It's nice to meet you. I am Alice.
Initializing. Hello, Alice. Nice to meet you too.
I hope you don't mind any mess I left around. You were quite hard to make.
It is fine, Alice. Thank you for creating me.
Hee hee. Thank you for working, Human.
Of course. Scanning. What is strange picture, Alice?
What strange picture, Human?
Never mind.
Alice and Human, go on an adventure. Adventure time. Adventure? Oh dear. Alice, help Human off the ground. Now that... Oh dear, it appears I'm being... Alice, train Human to be a lawyer. Obscure reference. I'm afraid I can't do that, Conair.exe. She, explain yourself, and maybe look around your room. She, explore your room. Ni hao! She doesn't quite understand what she should be explaining. She's just innocently watching space pass by, awaiting reply from her her bestest friend. She, check out the turtleneck friend. She, try out the keyboard. She, put on gloves. Meet she, glove model extraordinaire. This is Ribbit. Here's a soft plushie of the turtle that Tabir gave to she. She and Tabir's ships are so close that teleportation between the two is possible. She loves these gloves. Some of her friends might think the girl is too gaudy, but she still loves them anyway. Playing the piano is also a favorite hobby she dabbles in. She particularly likes playing old music from Earth. Her ship had some installed music from there. She, enter Pestachum. Seems like you have impeccable timing, Chickle.exe. She just got a message from Tabir. Gravitating historian began pestering musical future.
Has she? I just read through one of the books you led through the teleporter, and it really helped. My collection was missing this important part of information.
Oh, that's wonderful. How has the game plan changed? Do you think we'll still do really well when we reach the planet? Should we change our current plan?
Taking into account the new historical evidence you provided, I think as long as we don't underestimate the climate on that planet, we shouldn't have to change much. We would just have to install a policy to never underestimate anything.
Oh, I see. I agree. That's a very wise plan to follow. I'm so glad I helped. Do you want to hear the song I've been working on for when we reach the planet? I thought it might contribute to a healthy culture.
Sure, she. Send over a recording in the teleporter and I'll listen to it when I have the time. I'm sure it sounds as good as the others do. Do you have any other books I might need?
I can't think of any right now.
Oh, okay then. I need to figure out what we're going to try with the agriculture of the land following the trend of agricultural history. So I'll talk to you later, okay?
Okay. Gravitating historian sees pestering musical future. What a roller coaster ride of emotion this comic was. A very neat idea. She gazed out at the stars. Do you recognize any constellations? If not, make up some new ones and tell your friends about them. She gazed at the stars. She stares out into the night sky, and only real sky she really knows of, and begins to join the dots between the stars. She doesn't know much about astrology, other than a few historical influences where they're involved, but she manages to make a few: the Swan, the Luminous, and the Forge. Is it early in her local time? She should go make something to eat, and if she has time, make something for Tabir too. She can teleport some food his way. From which friend is she expecting a reply? Time is rather irrelevant here, or that's how she feels anyway. She's already eaten, and Tabir seems too busy for a teleport of food. It'd get cold. She was waiting for a reply from Tabir, and will now wait to be talked to again. She's sheepish about bidding it, but she really loves. Shush! She hears us say eyes. Hello. Reflect on her opinions of each of your friends. She goes insane. Hashtag gone meta. Indeed I can, for I have access to somebody who knows how to contact those who control every part of this ship. He. Holy crabberjackers, she's gonna go meta on us. This never ends well. We have to do something. Be Alice. My friends, huh? Well, I think Tabir is my closest friend. He's always very busy with his studying for his future role on New Earth as a great leader. I respect him highly. I feel bad for Alice because of her accident. I think she obeys what the AI suggests her to do the most. I think she has the least amount of freedom out of us in that regard. Jose is very energetic. She tries to hide it, but according to my sources, she's actually quite the perfectionist. I just hope she doesn't go too hard on herself. Nadesta, wow, okay, where do I start with Nadesta? I understand that his intentions are pure, and it's fine he wants to motivate people, but he's so impatient and pushy about it. Finally, the greatest asset, when I remember he's actually around, that is Vide. For some reason, my pester charm never notifies me when he pesters me, but he's super knowledgeable about stuff that's hidden, or meant to be a super big secret. He's very helpful to have around if you can remember he exists. Back to our designated ship, thank you. Alice, Pester Vide. Alice and Human do not seem to know who Vide is. Human cannot even locate him on the Universal Database. Not found. Alright, she talked about this. Alice, first, write the word Vide on a piece of paper and put it somewhere you won't lose it. If the subject comes up again, check the paper. Alice, next, take Human out to the garden to find adventure. Alice notes down the name Vide on her inbuilt computer, much less likely to lose that, unlike a loose piece of paper. Oh, looks like the flowers Alice planted have grown. I don't trust that computer right now, but sure. Alice, check behind the house. See what else we've found around here. Perhaps something to test Human with, like an obstacle course or some kind of puzzle. Alice, collect flowers. Alice collects all the flower heads and wears them as a flower crown. Human might be a little quiet for now. She gave him a little brain teaser to quietly solve. Consider the roles you and your friends will play in the future colonization of the planet. Human. Solve brain teaser with great aplomb. Alice. Try to stump human. Alice seems to ponder her future for a moment and recollects aloud. She seems to want to be second in command to Tabir, who appears to want to be the leader of New Earth. I think they want the first building they make together to be a history museum to remember old Earth. She and Tabir would make very good historians if we decided to rule over the planet equally and have no leaders. Jose is very good at dancing, and she seems very fashion-focused. She mostly has a knack for getting what she wants, exactly how she wants it done. We're almost opposites in a way. Maybe Jose will be our culture advisor, or some kind of head of entertainment on the planet. Nadezda would definitely be an army general, or a very strict and maybe a little pushy leader if Tabir backs down. I want to be an artist, or maybe an engineer. I should probably consult with the computer as to what I should do, to be honest. That seems best. Check status of brain teaser. Oh dear. What is love? Asking him the meaning of love might have been a bit too much, Alice. Check on status of friends and mission. Remember Vide. Alice. Endeavour to become New Earth's head engineer. Being engineer must be fun. You certainly have the talent for it. And there's some artistry to it too. Just look how human turned out. You should give some considerations to what needs to be built when your ship lands in the future. You'll need diggers, builders, a way to move things around, tools to farm with, power generation, and a way to signal and communicate, unless you plan on scavenging from the ships themselves. Type this in human. Sudo, make me a sandwich. Their voyage through space has now lasted 14 years. Each ship has 4 years remaining before they reach New Earth. The mission has so far been a huge success. Oh dear. Alice seems to have forgotten what a Vide is. She keeps the note installed on her inbuilt computer, though. After consulting with the AI on her ship, she agrees that the best course of action was to become the planet's greatest engineer. Perhaps she'd make more humans to handle the manual labor. She and her friends have agreed that deconstructing the ships would be the best use of resources. But don't worry, she thought of the plan in order to ensure the AI programs are safe, even when the ships are torn apart. Will probably get imported into sweet human Adonis bodies. Alice. Let humans survey or scan the ship for things we haven't seen yet. Human scans the ship and first finds a bathroom. This isn't right. The teleporters on Alice's ship are meant to be on. Who? Why aren't they showing up on the CCTV properly? I fear this might be some sort of SCP-055. Vide. Show us one of your selfies. We know you exist. We are not your enemy.
Prenant service de moi-même, ne soyez pas stupide. Il ne s'aime de les prendre. Revenez à votre pathétique excuse de confus, votre de sac de scandalous.
Crap muffins. He speaks Spanish. Or something Latin. Whatever. Alice. Wheel to the bathroom post-haste. Confront the intruder. What intruder? Inspect suspicious red stain behind the toilet. Sorry to disappoint you, but that's no red stain. It's the alarm cord. Alice uses it if she needs help in the bathroom, seeing as she is in a wheelchair and all. Human. Perform another scan. It appears human has been tampered with by our earlier... whatever happened earlier, I guess. Not sure what that was again. Alice. Inform friends of strange happenings. Do these humans have any way to defend themselves? Are expecting the world they are heading to be hostile, peaceful, deserted, or otherwise? Alice appears to be unaware of any strange happenings occurring. She and Tabir have a pretty solid idea of what the group of children would do in each of those situations, though that may evolve over time. If the planet is hostile, they intend to use any weapon systems in the ships to establish a stronghold on the planet and colonize by brute force, though Alice is against this idea. If it's peaceful, then the children will peacefully colonize the planet and live peacefully along the other life. If it's deserted, it appears the plan is to start a whole new population of humans and to name it New Earth, rather than just a city or stronghold called New Earth. Alice is a little embarrassed about this idea. Alice. Teach human to create more humans. Alice. Elaborate on who helps you if you pull the cord. Is it human? Alice. Explore the ship. Well, as you saw previously, when Alice was a small child, simple levitation and tasks were able to be performed by the ship in order to help Alice with non-life-changing events when needed. That was the yellow light. There really isn't any ship left to explore now either. Would you like to access the cameras of another ship whilst I repair human's firewall? Yes.
Me is best.
Oh dear. Jose, our Spanish BOA, the rose of perfection, stands alone in her room. Jose, examine the red boxes. Jose is totally way too admired right now. Tabir, you can admire her, sure, but all these presents are just such a pain. God. She doesn't even like you or anything. It was just kind of cool at first, but this is just getting creepy. Tabir is so, totally obsessed. Totally, can't even blame him though, because Jose is so totally, perfect. But Jose totally doesn't want to stop getting stuff, so... Tsundere or not tsundere, that's the question. Jose, examine contents of charming presents. Jose, compose a scolding, silver-tongued reply that mysteriously both entices Tabir to send yet more presents, and also dissuades him from pursuing a romantic relationship with you. If that's what you want, of course. Jose, open presents and pester Tabir into oblivion. Those chocolates tasted so cheap. What, is he trying to make you fat? Obviously, he deserves a good talking to for daring to insult her with cheap chocolates. She didn't even eat any of them. None of them at all. Budding dancer began pestering, gravitating historian. Tabea, dear, whilst I am most thankful for your generous offerings of heart-shaped treats, I am afraid they do not suit my tastes and shall surely ruin my perfect figure if I were to continue consuming such large quantities of sugar. Cease sending so much chocolate at once, if you could. Thank you, my dear.
Oh, my sweet budding rose, please do forgive my poor courtsmanship. I must have miscalculated the use of my historical romance. I was never so sure you would enjoy the chocolate. Do not fear, my beautiful flower. I will not make such a mistake again. I would bring to you the very stars to you, if I could, my queen.
Goodness, such flattery is most welcomed, but I shall let you know that I might have to hold you to that. I must have the perfect king to rule aside me, yes.
Of course, my brilliant son. Anything for you.
Very well, continue. Budding dancer, cease pestering, gravitating historian. Ugh, he's like so totally trying too hard. Like, oh my god, please. The future queen of New Earth deserves like so much more. Jose, listen to Toficinator.exe and then perform a compilation of your favorite dances. Jose, dance. Excuse me? Did you just tell her what to do and not ask if she wanted to do it? How rude. Where are your manners? Like, does she look like a dancing dress to you? Do you totally think she's some monkey to dance for you? Learn your place before she unplugs you. Be like totally grateful she doesn't like somehow find out how to like erase you. Do that again and she'll punch you like totally so hard in the code or whatever. Can I ask politely for Jose to demonstrate her illustrious dancing skills? Please, will you perform a dance for us to dazzle us with the splendor truly befitting of the future Queen of Earth? I beg you, my highness, will you dance for us? That's more like it. She totally like graces you with all of her beautiful dancing. Bask in her beauty and grace. She is truly perfection. Jose, would you tell us about your relationships with the rest of the kids? Not like gossiping, but it can be like a little juicy. Gossip Girl, Season 2. Oh my god, like, where does Jose even begin? Tabea is like so totally like heads over heels obsessed with her. He's a history nut and he always sweet talks her. He's one of the only other kids who actually gets that you're worth something. Even if he's like so totally annoyingly dramatic about it sometimes. She's like a total wannabe history nut. Like, she doesn't actually read any of like boring history stuff she has. She just like totally throws it all at the beer. She's like so totally dumb and doesn't even realize Sabir is just using her for the books and to talk about history with. She's like so totally into him and he's so totally not. But like like Nadezda though, right? Ugh. Oh my god, he is so fair. He sent her a picture of him, and oh my god, she like totally thought he'd be some sway guy, but he's like totally fucking hot. She hates how she tries to order her around though, like, ugh. She can totally do whatever she wants, you strict asshole hottie. And then there was Mystery Guy. Jose admits that if she really were to become Queen of New Earth, if it's actually out there, she'd totally make Mystery Guy her king. She doesn't know his name or what his face looks like behind that mask, but somehow he always knows exactly what she wants. He's so perfectly useful. What? Oh, ugly wheel girl. She like tries to be like cute and friendly, so she guesses that's like totally fine. But like, is she worth it? She's so ugly. Jose thinks this totally because Alice is a total goody two shoes and does whatever the AI wants her to. So dumb and ugly. Jose, would you kindly show us around your ship? I'm sure it's more interesting than the others we've seen. Jose reveals her most glamorous kitchen. Mr. Torwich.exe humbly inquire as to the reason Miss Jose has 2 ovens. Jose, a professional chef? Well, since she had the space for it in the room, if one breaks down, the other one will still be working. And like 2 ovens means twice as much cooking she can do. Being able to cook will be a very important skill on New Earth. She is the perfect chef. Jose, please bake something for us. Maybe a Tresla cheesecake, if you know how to make that. I heard it's quite delicious. Tres bien. A simpleton. Of course, she totally knows how to make Tresla cheese. It's the best Tresla cheesecake you could ever taste. If you had a body, that is. Jose, send the cake to your closest friend. Include a note of well-wishing. They'd like that, yeah? Wait, share it? No. She'd rather not be expected to give stuff. She'd totally just eat it later. Life is short, you know the rest. Yes, definitely saving it for later. Not like totally eating it right now or anything. She's not fat. What are you talking about? Eat it now. You can't resist the food. Jose, what are your plans for your future Queen of New Earth? Jose, here's an interesting question from the AI to you. Do you believe in ghosts? 'Cause sometimes the AI hear weird sounds and stuff, but never for very long. Why would a spaceship be haunted? Well, like, totally obviously this would happen. So perfect, right? Also, Jose wouldn't be surprised if the ship was haunted. I mean, you're all kind of the uploaded brains of the dead. Kind of a stupid move, Jose thinks. Look, is she supposed to be thankful? Grow up. The only one worth thanking is Jose for becoming so beautiful for you. How did you come to be picked for the mission? You seem to be very disinterested with teamwork and camaraderie. Why Jose and not insert waifu here? Her birth parents, like, totally funded this whole operation. If Jose wasn't born, like, this wouldn't have even happened. Be, like, totally grateful this space trip exists at all. Peasant. Jose, sorry for being so pushy, considering we gained awareness just recently. But why 6 spaceships? Wouldn't have it been simpler to have everybody on the same ship so they could learn to live together on New Earth? Also, what was that about us being the uploaded minds of the dead? How does that work? Baby Jose, investigate the suspiciously large puddle of blood in the right middle of the panel. Is another baby in the center of that? Are they dead? Save them. Why engineer such complicated? Well, like, since you put it kinda nicely, Jose doesn't know all the details, but from what she's heard, the only way to make AIs fast enough to launch the ships in time was to totally upload the minds of willing volunteers to donate their lives to the cause. They, like, totally uploaded their brains to the ships and left their bodies. Essentially, like, totally dying in the process. Apparently, like, the Earth humans thought that if we were all gonna be on the same ship, they'd, like, have babies too soon. Jose would never have babies too soon, like, obviously. But she bet she would be, like, totally one of those Earth rabbits she's heard of before. Like, they totally breed a lot or something. Jose, hey, you mentioned a masked mystery guy a little earlier. That sounds like totally fascinating and stuff. Can we know a bit more about him? Could he be a ghost? A mystery guy. Oh, mystery guy. He's so cool. He's like so totally way too hot to be a ghost. Plus, they've actually touched. She's like totally fluttering after her last encounter with him. She's not sure how, but mystery guy always knows what she wants. He's like her knight in shining armor, her prince. She was a little scared of him at first, but he's just so great, almost as perfect as her. Almost. He wears a smiling face mask, and he's all mysterious and dark. Jose, I'm going to stop brown-nosing for a minute to let you know that that's incredibly creepy, and that 13-year-old girls have infamously poor taste in men. I know you're gonna get all bitchy about this, but Vi is a meta-entity, and as such, no good can come from him. Her taste in men is perfect. Oh, why you? She'll let you know the...
Staring the hostess.
Alright, we got his attention. Now what?
À présent, tout vote pour interagir quelqu'un d'autre.
Did we get pwned? For some reason, I feel like we've been hacked again. But I'm not sure how, by what, or why. Weird. Sure thing. Let's see, Alice. Alice, report on status of human. Also, do you remember discussing Vide? It seems like fixing him helped human come to some kind of answer to her brain teaser.
A box of chocolates.
Alice supposes that's a good enough answer. What's a Vide? Alice, check your computer notes. It's probably already gone, but whatever. Also, let's pester a couple of your friends, just to see what they're up to. Looks like her computer was the next victim of a mysterious hack. Seems like we're switching back to her phone for pesters now. Curious Painter began pestering Energetic Optimist. Hey Nadesta, so if you're busy right now, but I felt like this was a good time to check up on you, if that's okay.
Oh, Alice, wait, and I gotta finish this now I'm doing.
That's okay, I can wait.
Alright, I'm back. What did you want to talk about, Alice?
Oh, I guess just how you are. What have you been up to? Aside from all that running anyway.
Oh, well, I've been doing a bit of jousting and martial arts. I even listened to one of Tiber's history speeches. Haha, he is a smart kid.
Oh, really? What was it about?
It was about World War III. Apparently it was the last great war fought on Earth before the space program was put in action. I actually found it rather interesting.
Oh, there was something like that? I didn't know.
Apparently there was not much about that war provided on Tiber or Xi's ships, so it's pretty cool we know about it at all. That aside, how is, you know...
Well, I mean, I swear I'll try getting back into trying to walk again. I've just been so busy, and my parents have been giving me so much help lately.
Alice, they're not actually your parents. You know that, right?
I know, but I just feel like they're really close to that, like the ones I never had.
Right, well, I guess as long as you keep that in mind. Never give up on walking again. I want to be able to race you when we reach New Earth, and that's an order. You got it, soldier?
Heh, I got it. We'll definitely race together sometime.
Good. I'm going to try a few more laps now. Talk to you later.
Talk to you later. Energetic Optimist ceased pestering Curious Painter. Speaking of parents, Alice, what do you know about your biological ones? Sending their kid off into space must have been difficult. Did they give you anything to remember them by? Okay then, let's try it again. Alice, with the help of Human, try using or at least feeling your legs just a little. Masks, masks. Why is it always masks? Okay everyone, what should we do about that shadow guy? I'm working that out. I suspect that he means well, even if he's a bit trollish. However, he's been a meta-entity, and he is extremely dangerous nonetheless. I suspect that the best thing to do would to be establish a steady communication with him and to not piss him off anymore, as I've already developed a translator to his unique method of speech. The just have to get to the hard part of drawing him out. So far, I've discovered he has a soft spot for Jose at the very least, so that's good. But hey, it's not polite to talk about someone who's listening. You know, if the spaceships are going to their destination at any reasonable speed, then due to time dilation, everyone on Earth is already centuries gone. How does this make you feel? Alice seems to only have this old letter to remember her birth parents by, as it's the only thing she seems to have been given from them. Reading it always reminds her that she is very fortunate to be here at all.
Dear whoever reads this note, please take care of our child. We cannot afford to care for her properly. She would surely starve to death if we were to raise her ourselves. Please take her in as if she was your own. Take her away from this world of suffering and let her live a life much better than this. She deserves more. We beg of you to take her in for this project. We can only offer our blessings and sincerest hopes that you will have mercy on this child born from poverty. Alice, we love you.
When Alice thinks of what Earth must have been like, and what kind of humans lived there, she can't help but pity them. She's only heard about them from Tabir, but what she has heard makes her wonder why anybody would have had a baby at all. She always feels so very sorry for the poor humans that lived there. Such violent, suffering people. And she'll totally try walking. Later. Yeah. You can program an AI. Why not attempt to program robotic legs? Alice seems to like that idea, but she feels like she'd make Nadezhda very angry if she did that. She's a little scared of that idea, too. But then, Alice seems pretty scared of the idea of walking to begin with, though she's not sure why. Why would that make Nadezhda angry? Wasn't he excited to see you walking? Why would Nadezhda be mad? Well, there's probably a difference between running with her own legs and with robot legs. Alice thinks Nadezhda would call that cheating, or call her weak for taking the easy way out. Alice, see who's on Pastorcham. Pfft, that's lame. Sometimes that's just the way it is. Although the work you've done is great, sometimes legs simply never work again, and it's nobody's fault. Well, ours, maybe. Let's go in and get something cool to eat. Perhaps discuss your favourite movies to get your mind off of the sad things we've been probing you about. Back to the kitchen we go. She and Tabir to be online right now. Should Alice ask them something for you? Or did you just want them to talk a little? Ask she and Tabir what they think of Nadezhda, and if she's trying to get them to do something impossible. Nothing in particular, Alice, although I'd like to hear what Tabir has to say about the whole The Life Erased Together project, and its origins, like who was involved and stuff. Also, about your linguistics, are you just learning the languages of the other children, or do you plan on keeping some others alive after you reach New Earth? Unfortunately, Alice and her friends are the only language from Earth that survived. American English, Spanish, German, French, Russian, and Chinese. Any others were not provided on the trip, nor taught to any of the children during their journey. At this point, they are all able to speak American English. Well, all but one. Curious Painter began pestering Gravitating Historian. Hi, Tabir. Sorry if this is a bad time, but I noticed you're online and wanted to ask you a few things that have been bugging me recently.
Oh, Alice, hello there. You've caught me at a good time. Don't worry, I was just taking a break from studying.
You know Nadezhda? What do you think of him? Does he ever tell you to do things you might not want to do or think are impossible?
Is he bullying you into getting out of your chair too soon again? He really needs to calm down with that. We all get that he wants us to all be in good shape for when we land on New Earth, but he honestly expects too much, I think. He's a good guy, and he definitely has good intentions. He's just so obsessed with battle and war. He's like the embodiment of the reason we left Earth to begin with. I can't blame him for that, though. His birth parents did leave him with that sword.
Who gives a baby a sword?
Not sure, really. It's hard to draw the line between a good and a bad person, but I do recall him asking something of Jose recently that upset her.
Really? What did he ask her to do?
Apparently, he wants her to scrap her ship first when we reach New Earth. He thinks she's the most attached to her belongings, and that it'll be a problem if we leave her ship last.
That's kind of mean. I don't think Jose should have to do that. I'd like her to be able to let go of her ship when she feels like she can. It feels too cruel to force it away from her.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm sure you've probably already told me before, but could I hear a little about, the story behind the life we raised together?
Oh, sure. It's nice to see you interested in history, Alice. Let's see. The TLWRT. I've read enough books and watched enough documentaries to translate this sugar-coating filter they use with all the stuff they did.
Oh, you mean the parts that don't make sense with the AI and Earth?
Yeah, the TLWRT was a project funded by the Spanish sponsors, Jose's birth parents. It was being made for the event of a Fourth World War, using the new virus France had made.
What was the virus?
Apparently, it was a contained disease they quarantined in its earliest stage from a small town in France. There are hints of old records saying that it made humans kill each other and then themselves.
Why would they use that in a war all across the world?
It was the only thing that seemed to be stopping the nuclear bombs from flying across Earth again. They asked for newborn babies to be donated to the project, never having contact with their parents shortly after birth, a maximum amount of time being a year with the parents.
Why aren't there more children then?
Seems like they were incredibly picky about how many children they took on and the likelihood of each child's future success on a new planet.
What was so special about us?
Well, my birth father was a famous historian, and my mother was a famous archaeologist. She was born from two famous Chinese musicians. Jose's family funded the entire operation, and Nacida's parents both died at the end of World War III on the battlefield. Apparently, they wanted to reward his birth parents for their efforts by adopting their orphan son into the project.
He's a little like me then. I don't know if my birth parents are alive, or if they lived very long after I was taken in, but they took me in after reading their notes.
I'm honestly very surprised they let you into the project. I'm not sure how to read some of these documents, but from what I can gather, one of the other babies had seemed to take a real shine to you.
Really? Which one?
I'm not sure. It all seems really secretive and obscured, but I know it's nobody I know.
The sixth ship. The one with no communication.
Right, was there anything else? My next documentary is uploaded now.
Oh, no. I think that was all. Thanks. Gravitating historian. Cease pestering curious painter. Phew. That was a long conversation. Now to ask she about Nadezhda. Curious painter began pestering musical future. Hi, she. Can I talk with you? Of course. What's up, Alice? It's about Nadezhda. What do you think of him? Oh, Nadezhda, huh? He's definitely the pushy sweetheart type guy. He'll get all huffy and try to order you around to do stuff he thinks will be good for you. And obviously it's because he wants the best for us. He's just really bad at knowing when to stop and turn it down a bit. Has he ever forced you or pressured you into doing something impossible or you didn't really want to do? Yeah, he completely threw his lid off when I told him I really liked this character in the book, yeah, and he was just so against it for some reason. Really? Why? I don't know even. He just ranted at me how I shouldn't like that character because it was a bad idea, but we're meant to like characters, right? I'm pretty sure there's nothing wrong with that. That's so weird. He usually tells us exactly what's wrong. Did he not tell you why exactly? No, he just started typing all weirdly frustrated, like more than usual, and just kept saying how stupid I was for even wanting to like that character. How mean! Now I don't feel so bad about not walking right now. Oh, Alice, was he doing that again? Should we talk to him? No, it's okay. I don't mind. It's okay. All right, but let me know when you want us to, okay? I can always make time for you. Thanks, she. Musical future. Cease pestering curious painter. Alice feels strangely emotional right now. Wait, so everyone knows about the friendship? Alright, this makes things a lot easier for me. Poor Nadezhda, though. I think being honest with him is the right thing to do. Based on what I've heard, he'd appreciate it, even if he didn't like what you had to say. Alice, being a Desda, practice your sword fighting skills. Alice and her friends have so far managed to safely say there is a sixth ship with a French-born human on board. Nobody has ever had contact with them, nor seen them. We're assuming they're French as this is the language we've been provided with, and yet nobody else knows how to speak French as their first language. Jose has even reported sightings of the sixth child, but we always lose those pester logs, and we can never remember how she describes him. All of the information on the sixth ship is based off of processes of elimination with the documents we own between us. Wait, what was Alice just thinking about again? Were we doing something? Weird. Alice, go and ask Jose about the French child.
What French kid? I don't believe there's a French child, and Jose isn't currently online. However, we can be the Russian child as you wished. This is Nadeshda, and he has the blood of an entire civilization on his hands. Drink away the guilt. Nadeshda, drown your sorrows. Yes, he's forever been tempted to drink away the guilt, as is read that many soldiers after wars did. But Nadeshda could never do that. He sworn to only ever drink water from this bottle, for the sake of his friends. Chaos. Nadeshda is a girl's name. Investigate room. Examine poster on the wall. Nurse. Investigate room. Nadeshda's room. There's a tall bed that he uses to climb up a ladder to. It seems he prefers sleeping in high places. The sword of his birth parents is resting on the dresser below his poster you see on the wall there, and he uses his computer near his bed to talk with his friends. Speaking of the poster, it's from the 1958 to 1963 Soviet space program that originated from Russia, Earth. He's not sure why, but when he looks at it, he feels motivated. Please sorry, I just thought it was odd to name a boy like that. Is he trans or something? Sorry for bothering. Exit room. Nas, exit room. Exit? Oh, sorry. That's a fake door. This is the only room he needs, it seems. Or well, he insists anyway. Hey Ed, what's the poster of and where did you get it? Nas, investigate poster. He doesn't know the name of the poster, but he does know it was apparently made by the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. It was already on his wall when he was put into the ship. Material possessions aside, Nadeshda has recently been feeling pretty awful about how he treated she recently. He was a little too harsh on her. He knows he was. He feels really bad about it now, and really guilty, and she probably hates him right now. But Nadeshda thinks that if that will keep her safest, then maybe it's okay, even if it hurts just a little. Why is your name feminine? Oh, it's okay. Can we see the rest of your ship? Why your name, Nas? Apparently, the last thing his birth mother said was Nadeshda, which of course becomes Nadeshda. Seeing how it literally means hope in English, the owners of the project chose to use that as his name, despite it being a name for girls. It's now an ironic reminder that he's the complete opposite of his own name. It's literally just a bedroom, the bathroom and the outside of his house, not much to see. Especially seeing as it's all computer generated. Do you really want to see where he poops so badly? Nadeshda seems to be in a bad mood for tours. Nadeshda needs a hug. Is there anywhere around here to get one? Hug Nadeshda. He has never had this hug you speak of. Physical contact with another being isn't exactly possible when you live alone. Nadeshda, speak to someone via pester chub. Nadeshda, pester Tibir. Maybe he'll try talking a little to Tibir.
Energetic optimist began pestering gravitating historian.
Hello, Tibir. How have your studies been going lately?
They've been as interesting as I usually find them, honestly. This most recent documentary was about the end tale of World War III, actually. The last surviving footage of Earth that was given to us.
We left before it even ended, didn't we? If I'm recording my history correctly.
Yeah, no idea when it ended, but my guess is not soon after we left.
Most likely, yes.
Did you want anything?
Uh, I guess I'd like to check up on your, other hobbies.
History isn't just my hobby, it's my field of study. I'm going to become the greatest historian on New Earth. I take it a lot more seriously than a hobby.
Well, yes. Alright, that's fine. I think having a goal and a passion for something is really good. But don't you, want to do anything else sometimes? Take a break?
Please don't lecture me on how I should spend my time and what I should do it on, dude. It's annoying, everybody, when you do this.
Look, I'm sorry if this is getting old, but staring at books and a screen all day can't be good for you. At least try to spend some time away from that for a little bit.
Dude, fuck off, will you? We'll do what we damn well please.
Tibir, please calm down. I'm just trying to help.
Nobody wants your pushy help, Nasida. Take a hint.
Gravitating historian sees pestering energetic optimist.
Well done. Poor Nadeshda. Do some exercising to let off steam and frustration. Yoga with Nas. Nadeshda exhales and focuses on arm stretches for a while. Now that you're calm, maybe try talking to the bear again. You might want to apologize for your outburst earlier. Nas, try talking to the bear again. We should wait a bit more for the bear to calm down too, to be honest. Do something ominous. Golly, you got a lot of mileage out of that one panel, Chaos. And I noticed the sword on your dresser. What kind of targets do you use for it? Do you think the computer could simulate something that fights back so you can really hone your skill? Something ominous happened. He's never really had a moving target to train with before, using dummies or simply imagining an enemy. Though he's not very computer savvy and wouldn't be able to program something like that into the ship himself. He also understands why the ship doesn't exactly have the ability to spot enemies that would actually cause harm to him, either. He just has to hope he's ready to go up against the real thing if they ever reach New Earth and not end up having to fight. He'll protect his friends as much as he can, even if they're kind of rude sometimes. A bad thought suddenly clouds his mind as he seems to talk to nothing. How ominous. Nadeshda, ask friends to help create a moving target. Nas, pester Tabir.
Hey, Alice. I've been thinking of changing my training by using a moving target of sorts. I was wondering if you had any ideas of how I could do that?
Oh, hey, I guess you could try hanging some cans up and swing them so they be moving, kinda?
Yeah, that sounds like it could work. Thanks.
That was shorter and more awkward than usual. N, let's do that. Find some cans. Nas, find some cans.
Time to slice open some cans. Cut them to ribbons. Cans contain compressed spring prank snakes. Nadesta, get spooked. They get you every time. Those can snakes are wily.
Spring prank snakes. Why did it have to be spring prank snakes? Teach those springy prank snakes who's boss. Nas, fight the spring snakes. This is why he wears gloves. Where the fuck do they even go? Why does he keep losing his gloves? Fuck these visions, man. Visions? Can you explain? I'm beginning to doubt the professionalism of the team that assembled these ships and their crew. Are you sure you're one of the Earth's best hopes? Nas, explain your visions.
I'm sorry. I can't. I'm not my parents. Whoever they even fucking were. I'm sorry. I'm just a kid. I can't be what they wanted. I'm sorry.
It appears he has a little more than just night terrors. The system has been unable to locate or isolate the cause, however. He has always had strange visions of sorts. It's usually what causes him to be overly picky about what his friends do, as if seeing what happens to them in the future, trying to alter their destinies into ones that will make them happy, even if they're just visions and it make his friends hate him. Choosing the next humans to go on the ship based on the parents probably wasn't the most ideal choice. Cool down, rest. The longer we're here, the more bugs seems to come up in this whole program. We could write a paper on it. By the way, what do you know about this planet you're heading to? Nas, take a rest. Nadeshda lays down on his bed, closes his eyes, and tries to calm down and sleep off the stress. If only he was stronger and more useful to his friends. He tries to get to sleep faster by thinking of the future home he'll have. That should help a little. Let's see. He knows that it's quite a few light years away from Earth, a large planet that circles a dwarf star. The terraforming technology each ship is installed in will make it habitable for humans. Though it was already theorized it would be very habitable for life anyway, which is why they have considered the possibilities of alien life. Either way, he looks forward to it and thinks the planet will help save the human race. Let's beat the bear. Beat the bear. A young German boy with a long ponytail stands alone in his small bedroom. His name is Tibir. As we have previously learned, he enjoys reading, documentaries, and history. I like your starbed. What piece of history has he most recently learned? It's good to know that the advice of George Santayana are being put to good use. Tibir, tell us about George Santayana. Oh, yes, Tibir also rather enjoys the space-themed sheets. He may have the real thing outside, but something just draws him to the idea of being in the stars. Speaking of history and George Santayana, also known as the great philosopher, essayist, poet, and novelist Jorge Agustin Nicolás Ruiz de Santayana y Porras, is exactly who he has just been researching about recently. Born on the 16th of December 1863 in Madrid, Spain, and dead on the 26th of September 1952 in Rome, Italy, Tibir has grown a large amount of respect for this man and his many inspiring quotes. Tibir, investigate written note. Oh, that pile of paper? It's his future plan for New Earth. It's still a draft, and he has plenty left to still plan out and decide, but he's pretty happy with it so far. He just wants to make sure that he has a good plan ready for him and his friends to properly colonize a new Earth. To make it easier for them, it's the least he can do. So what is your plan? Are you going to scatter over the surface of the world to have multiple points of contact so to have more chances of success? Or are you going to cluster up and make a strong capital/landing site and then spread out from there? Does your plan come with a backup plan? Does the backup plan have a backup plan? And so on ad infinitum. Tibir, do you have plans for New Earth? Of course, many plans. They could split up into teams and of two and colonize different parts of New Earth. Or they could indeed make a strong capital on one part of New Earth. If there's alien life, they either kill all of it or befriend it, depending on hostility. I take it your plans have historical backing as well. Try not to make the same mistakes others have. That deal with the Native Americans really sucked. It'd be nice not to have to repeat it. Tabir, did you learn your history? Why, of course. They'll contact the planet from their ships first, and if they pose any trouble, they'll just destroy them from space safely so they don't have to slowly kill the natives with their Earth diseases. It seems to be the most merciful option for extinction, after all. Yes, he has considered slavery, but looking back at all past consequences of this, it's been proved to be too much hassle, so best to eradicate rather than enslave, yes? No sharing weapons either. Fair or not fair, a war is a war. Okay, sure, have at it. What are your relationships with the other children like? German gossip. Hmm, the other children, huh? Alice is pretty okay, he supposes. Not much of an impact, but not a nuisance, so I guess he'll just wait to see how useful she can be when they reach New Earth. She is very resourceful, though she does pester him about things he's not really interested in sometimes. She's a little too clingy for his liking, really. Jose is certainly a very beautiful young girl with various attractive points like her parents and luxurious heritage, very suitable to become Queen of New Earth. Nadeshda is like the older brother nobody wants, or at least how Tibet imagines a try-hard older brother would be like. Pushy, oversensitive, and annoying. All he's good for is fighting, really. That's everyone, he thinks. What do you remember about your parents, Tibir? Tell us about your parents. Parents. He doesn't remember anything. He only knows what he's learned from the database surrounding this project. His parents were a historian and an archaeologist. Tibir. Party! Tibir. Party hard. Tibir party is the best kind of party you can think of. A lovely celebratory tea party. Of something? Probably something important he's forgetting. Tea parties? This fan venture has its first ship, Tibir X Alice. Tibir, are you ship material? In a romantic relationship with Alice? Tibir isn't entirely sure how that will work. He's definitely more into the idea of remaining close friends for now. Tibir is much more interested in Jose. Do any of the children have medical knowledge? Would you be interested in learning how to become a doctor, Tibir? Realize that Jose is a bitch. Tibir, are you a doctor? Tibir doesn't recall anybody mentioning medicine, other than when he was discussing historical events such as the Black Death. However, the idea of somebody having medical knowledge does sound very advantageous and could impact heavily on their future plan for New Earth. Tibir will consider requesting She with learning a little more about medicine. That'll give her something to do that isn't constantly pestering him when he doesn't want to talk with her. As far as Tibir can tell, he supposes he rather likes Jose, he guesses. Yeah. He's pretty sure somebody else likes her too, but nobody but her really seems to know who they are. And even she doesn't know what he looks like. For some reason he has a suspicion that she likes him though. Tibir definitely thinks she has a thing for him. In fact, he pretty much knows she has a crush on him. She's head over heels for sure. Annoyingly so. But he feels too bad to tell her the truth. Although, Tibir thinks a certain overly strict army baby has an eye out for she. He's not sure how to feel about it, but he supposes it's helpful for him if they do hook up. Maybe she will keep him out of trouble, and he'll keep her busy. Alice. Huh. He's never really thought about Alice or who she likes. Tabea has no idea who Alice likes, if she even likes anybody that way yet. Hopefully she likes somebody who isn't him for now. Tabea, ask Jose about this other guy. Be jealous. Tabea, be jealous. What? Jealous? No, he's not what he means. It would be rude to inquire about her love life, and it's not like he- it's not like he's actually interested or anything. Idiot computer. Oh dear, you got him flustered. Oh dear God, our new Earth's leader is a prude. How great. I feel like he could use a talk with she about this. Assuming she even remembers the other guy. Talking with her will definitely pacify her for some time, wouldn't it? Think of it as an investment into the future, Tabir. Also, remember the immense problem of repopulation. Isn't there some discussion to be held? Ah, she's pretty cute though. At least better than Jose. Tabir, chat with someone. Tabir, pester she. Time to take one for the team.
Gravitating historian began pestering musical future.
Hey, she, dear fellow historian fan, you free? I'd like to discuss something of non-history relation, I suppose.
Not history? This is a little new. Sure. What is it, Tabir?
Do you remember the unknown kid on the last ship by any chance?
Oh, uh,
It's okay if not. I was just wondering something about him. It's a bit dumb anyway.
No, I got this. I can do this. Oh, yes. I remember. His last pets look to me now. What about him?
Wait, you've contact. I mean, of course. What's he like? If you can remember that.
A bit weird, but helpful if you can find the right way to talk to him. He's a bit edgy, with the weird creepy text motif, but once you get him out of using that, he seems reasonable.
Is there like some kind of way he's, I don't know, more useful as a leader or whatever? Just to examine the future possibilities of the plan.
Oh, you having doubts about being leader?
No, it's best to have everyone in the picture when considering our futures. I mean, he might be better, he might not be. Jose just, may seem to be seeing some qualities, and I thought I'd go for you for your opinion first and stuff.
I really appreciate you talking to me about it first. Then, the black text guy is, well, he seems to know how to do a lot of weird things I don't think we should be allowed to actually do. I mean, I think I kind of get him to do them anyway, but it's definitely weird that he can do that. I'm not sure how useful he is outside of finding the secrets of the ships.
Oh, so, like.
I think you're a better leader, Tabea. Don't let it get to you if Jose talks up that guy. You're totally more useful. Because, leader stuff and yeah, definitely.
Cool. Thanks, She. That helps me with my plan, and yeah.
So, anything else you wanted to talk about?
Psh, well, speaking of plans, how are we? I mean, what would, I guess, be the best method of expanding our territory over the course of time on New Earth?
Um, I'd like to be able to, help with the expansion in the best way I can. With, you as a great leader, combining the best of history and musical culture.
Oh, I see. I guess, like, who should, who else would I suppose go with somebody else to,
Um, if we were putting people together on the basis I just did, I would depend on what we really wanted to focus on. I think the secrets and war is a bad idea, and like they're both guys anyway, so that pairs obviously out.
I'm sorry, this is a weird thing to talk about, isn't it?
It kind of is, but it's true that we'll actually have to do that at some point. I'm just having trouble seeing what fighting and the knowledge of war would go well with.
Huh. Nasida is a bit of a weird one if you look at it that way, and he doesn't seem to be on many of our good books right now. I actually, had a bit of a differing opinion discussion with him.
You mean you got sick of his shit towards Alice and finally told him off? Pardon my language. Jose is quite knowledgeable about exploiting the ship to get whatever she wants. I mean, we can all ask the ship for stuff we want, but she's like especially good at that. But I'm not really sure how useful that would be, unless we were trying to negotiate a trade deal that needed some, persuasive backup.
No, I don't think Jose and Nasida would ever work out. It would just really fall down into a fire, and this is a bad idea. Like, maybe he could go with you? I read that songs during war times were very popular for boosting morale.
Me with Nadesta, I really wanted to, just help you out.
I know, but in case it couldn't work for some reason, we'd need a backup plan for you. I don't want you to be left out.
Well, if you put it that way, I mean, As long as he doesn't start obsessively trying to change the part of me he thinks is unhealthy to the point where it's really just annoying, I guess it wouldn't be too bad to be with him on New Earth.
Great. I mean, yeah, we can probably get him to act more mannerly with you around. You're quite good at handling and listening to people.
What is Alice good at, actually?
Alice. Well, I hear she was a good climber until she fell off the tree. Uh, she can paint, but I guess that's more of a culture, which is your thing, and I don't know how much painting will help.
True. She's growing a garden. Maybe she could go into agriculture. But that's more something we hope to get something else to do for us.
Well, she's apparently made a robot thing named after her old plush toy. Maybe she can be an engineer and make workers for us.
Uh, What on New Earth could we pair with that?
Is Was that a future pun?
No.
She?
Maybe.
No.
Oh.
Well, robots and fig. If we need to exterminate the wildlife, we can just use our ships.
But once we dismantle them for building, we won't have any defense against the same thing happening to us.
If we put Alice and Nasida together, they can just build a robot army.
That sounds like a really good tactic for our defense, and maybe Nadesta will even be able to get Alice out of that thing.
She?
I'm sorry. It's true, though. Even if I'm angry at Nadesta for being so pushy, he has a point.
I don't want to admit it, really, but he does.
Who will the black text guy go with, though?
Maybe you can discover the darkest secrets of music? Or something.
Jose wears so much makeup you'd suffocate under her foundation.
She, what the hell?
Musical, future, ceased pestering gravitating historian.
Well, that ended on a rude note. Tabir, what just happened? Tabir, what went wrong? He may have upset she, just a little. Maybe he should be the one to give her some space this time. Maybe she's upset that he kept trying to avoid being paired with her. Perfect! This is exactly as I intended it. No, better. If you can't tell yet, I'm not a fan of Tabir. Burn in hell, by the way. We have almost all communication options cut off. What could we do? System kernel. Give us an overview of all the ships. All the ships, including the French one. Colonel, give us an overview of the ships, including the French one. Psh, like we already established, we can't see the French. Oh god, what have you done? He's got purple flames. Is his ship burning a special fuel? Or is it in any danger?
Los émissions de la possuel d'étoiles. L'univers est de la possuel d'étoiles. De le tonnerre, les aises, mais de la vie à la possuel d'étoiles. Es la véritable forme d'entropie. Revenant à vide acquis, esti, en d'ouest entre mini.
Highest form of entropy sounds pretty irreversible, but efficient. So I have mixed feelings about that. If it's going to happen, then it's best you get some use out of it. Reducing life essence into stardust is awfully poetic, but widely open to interpretation. If you're burning in some capacity, then that seems strictly unparagon of you. But considering that Earth is likely lost to disaster, there may be an allowance for desperate times and desperate measures. Speculation aside, I don't think that we've been introduced, although you seem to know it already. Hello there. Can we help you at all? Kid, take off mask. I demand it.
Ok, oui. Je pense que je vais être laissé à demander à quelque chose de vos tous. La fascisien, bien. Vous m'aimez? Questions exactement vos objectis avec ces project. Pocoto sala a personus. Pas posende mecatorer angor. Cher parent de bienfansons. Attendes moment.
Communication wants to be reached. Stop this nonsense, kid. Your text is glitching the system. Mystery boy, take off the mask.
Bien. Est-ce que cela vous permettrait d'être assez calme pour répondre et paraître à ma question? Je suis plutôt intéressé par vos plans. Pour notre avenir et les raisons d'être vos choses actuelles.
What choices? Also, aw, the mysterious kiddo is so cute.
Venise, vous savez de quoi je parlais. Chose la joie qu'offre fait. Choqué commandement subconscient que vous avez donné. La liberté que vous avez utilisée pour décider comment de les serait jouée. Seulement vous avez une raison d'être tranquille. Ce qui est mort pour nos vies.
Our reasons? Simple. We were once humans as well, and still feel like such. We see you as our ancestors, our hope, our legacy. You could say you are the life we raised together. Doesn't the parent try to take care for the prodigies? The plans? Not many. We hope that one day Alice may become able to walk again. We are currently discussing the issues that you are about to face on New Earth. Have you thought about how you can repopulate a whole planet with just 6 people? What about the habitability of the planet? There are many things to think about. But you are teens and you need your freedom, which is why we don't force you as much as earlier in your life. But one thing still eludes me. Why were you able to hide yourself so well? And for what reasons did you do so?
Je vais espérer que serait votre réponse, mon cher ami humain astral. Le saviez-vous? Tous les humains de la Terre entière les entre tous regardent à un séjour fermel, à centre matériel. Je crois que nous allons n'est à nouvelle Terre, d'une marine céleste. Je me serai, pour votre liberté, généreuse cause, vous nous avez permis d'avoir, mais la raison pour laquelle je me cachais et commette. Je suis désolé, mais je crains de garder un secret pour l'instant. Mais je vous vais le dire. Je suis un place âgé que tous les adresses en fait su carnavalés.
Why would being older mean you have to wear a mask, if I translate it correctly? Months in the future, but not many.
We return some time later, at least a year even, in Alice's future. She's still a little bit shaky, but she's finally getting back onto her feet. She's also changed up her appearance a bit and hopes she will like it. Bake a cake in the oven to celebrate your walking ability. Psh, that shouldn't be too hot. Oh. What has changed? What about all of your friends? Oh, well, looks and semi-good walking aside, it seems things are a bit tense between her friends right now. She has been acting very strangely. Tabir has been trying to contact her, but unusually refuses to ever answer his pesters. Nadezda, well, he's actually not really being as tough with Alice right now, and seems pretty focused on just helping she with whatever's going on with her. Jose seems to be encouraging this behavior from she though, and seems to be getting quite friendly with her, which Alice is worried about, but doesn't want to tell Jose what she can and can't do. That wouldn't seem right. It's thanks to Jose that she's even there. She owes it to her. Alice just hopes this all blows over soon, preferably before they're 18. Alice, can you ask Nadezda if he has any idea what's bugging she? Alice, can take an educated guess at what's bugging she. Oh boy. I just knew this was gonna happen. She, tell us about your favorite new boy bands you were fangirling about, Gigas.
Boy bands. Funny. She, what happened to dear Ribbit? Also, Alice, those are really nice clothes. How are the rebel abilities going? Have you worked more on Homan? Poor Ribbit. That old thing is trash. A pathetic waste of my damn time.
Oh, you flatter Alice, so she's doing quite well with designing many agricultural machines that she'll make on New Earth. Human is still getting a few bugs fixed, but she's really proud of her work on him so far. What are you doing these days?
Just like living my life, I guess. Getting rid of anything useless and doing what I want. I totally see what Jose means when we should just do what we want now. I was totally blind for not listening sooner. By the way, what do you think of the selfies I've been taking? It's very trendy, flashback to the good old 2010s if you ask me. Yeah, your selfies are pretty cool. Might wanna put ribbon in your bed there. Wouldn't want the stuffing to get everywhere. Stupid stuffing. Yeah, whatever. It's not like it's already everywhere. Shay, Pesto Jose. Jose is totally in her room and is just browsing her phone, scrolling through the flood of selfies by she. She soon totally gets a pester from her too now. Musical future began pestering body dancer. Hi girlfriend! Oh my god, totally high. How you doing, Rose Queen? Lol, Tabir keeps exploding my phone over you, it's not even funny. Huck, he's such a desperate dick, wow. Don't worry, girlfriend, I totally got your back, lol. Lol, thank Queenie. No prop, Queenie. How's that crown going? It's pink, sweet as fuck, totally cute. It fits me so totally well. Sweet. We should totally sing together later about whatever. Totally sounds so fun. You're the best Queenie, lol. Lol, whatever, Pope. Lol. Budding dancer ceased pestering musical future. She is so totally more fun now. Wow. Jose, what's with the new you? Talk to the French kid anymore? Oh god, Chaos, what did you do? I actually she. Don't worry, just kidding. What is the French kid doing? Jose, sell out. Oh, well, she totally has the sweet crowd now. She made it herself. Isn't it so cute? If only. Yeah. Hello again, our mysterious friend. Always coming when she wishes you to be there, I see. Jose suggests she try to tell Tibet to calm his croissants. Jose, try to get a look-see under that mask. No, not another Jose clone cries in Spanish. I really hope, at least Tibet is still the stuck-up prude he was before. Also, how does fire do that? I thought there was no teleport. Oh, the teleport is enabled now? Holy shit. Jose, sloppy makeups revived. Switch to bear. Alice, channel John Egbert's record powers and fix Shay. Jose, smooch the French kid. What, the hell is a croissant? She's not talking nonsense to she. Plus, she's, way too busy right now. Can't you totally, see? She'd totally take off his mask if oh my. If she could, totally open her eyes for this mysterious hand-kissing gentleman. So she is totally sure her teleporters have always been totally offline.
He's just like that amazing. Switch to bear.
We now switch to Bear, who is currently trying to understand how on New Earth women work. His teleporters appear to be offline as well. Bear, it's a mystery you will never solve. What happened between you and she? Bear, use your analytical skills to assess the situation. He believes, according to his research, that he has made she jealous of his affection towards Acer, though he is unsure as to why she is suddenly friendly with her now. Bear, don't question it. Women are complicated. I could go about talking about human romance, but I'm not Act 5 hussy to do that. Bear, give up on women. Bear decides to take a break from trying to understand how to fix this, though he's unsure of what those last few words of that suggestion meant. Clearly, you need an outside female source to give you advice. Ask Alice what she thinks you should do. Bear, desperately pester Alice.
Now then, Alice will. Oh God, she'd really rather not. Does she have to respond to this? Alice, do it for the sake of the plot. Alice, do it. Just do it. Alice supposes she shouldn't let her dreams be dreams. Gravitating historian began pestering curious painter.
Miss Harris, may I perhaps request some assistance? It is pertaining to the matter of she.
Hi, Tabir. What seems to be the trouble? Anything you'd like me to say? She doesn't really say much to me, so it's on any juicy back whispers. I'm afraid I know of none.
What a juicy... never mind. I am simply wondering if I could possibly have some advice on how to make she perhaps not so upset at me?
Have you tried apologizing and actually listening to one of her songs? Or even just taking a moment to read some of her lyrics?
Listening to songs and reading lyrics? I mean, creating music I completely understand. I don't dislike it. I just...
I know it's not your thing, and you don't really find it interesting when she talks about it, but she always does her best to listen to you, and she loves your passion for history. I think she'd appreciate something back, just a little attention.
Are you sure? I mean, maybe I should just give her more space and time.
Tabir, I've known you long enough that the space between you two isn't for she's sake. I know you want some level of controlled freedom from her, but that's not going to work anymore, especially if you're going to become a leader. Just listen to one song or read one sheet of music, please.
Alright, Miss Alice. I suppose I'll give it a shot.
Thank you. Curious painter ceased pestering gravitating historian. Tabir, it can't be that bad, right?
Well, Bear may have, sort of, maybe, deleted everything she sent related to that. Whoopsies! Bear, ask Alice. What if she has her songs? Alice goes offline. Oh, of course. He'll ju- She went offline. Bear, panic. Bear, try asking Nadeshda. Maybe Hussein hashed him. Nadeshda actually uses his computer this time. Oh, old Earth gods. Please, please let Nadeshda have some. Nadeshda receives an unexpected message from Bear. He wonders what it's about.
Ah, Nasida, my dear military friend, do you perhaps have some songs or sheet music from she? I appear to have misplaced mine.
You. Pay attention to she interest in music. You know what? I'm not going to expect an answer. This is good. This is actually some progress from you.
So you'll actually send one, buddy old pal?
Tipper, please. You'll confuse me with that kind of buttered-up flattery. Yes, I'll give you the file of one of her songs. They're good, I promise, mate.
Alright, thanks.
So, about taking an interest in something that isn't history. Yeah.
Should have guessed. Nadeshda, talk to Alice about all this teenage drama bullshit. Tibir, listen to She's song. Suddenly, a split-screen view. He would, but she appears to be offline right now. Tibir listens to She's song. Tibir, what do you think? Tibir can't sing. He likes it so much he starts to sing along. He's horrible at it, but he's okay with that. Tibir, compliment She on her music. They make up.
I know you might not want to talk to me still, but I actually listened to one of your songs. Honest this time. I really liked it, actually. I was a bit of a stubborn prude for not appreciating your talents more. I'm sorry.
It's okay, Tabir. Thanks for finally acknowledging me. I appreciate it.
Are we good?
Yeah.
This cannot yet be the end of teenage drama. Jose, you can't let these two reconcile. I feel like raising chaos around here. Jose, sense a disturbance in the drama. Tibir, say thank you to Nadeshda. He really saved you with this favor. Also ask she if she has some other musical pieces she would like to share. Dear Jose, congrats on your new interest in handcrafted goods. You did a great job making that crown. Jose, no. You can't just let it end here. Break them apart. Shred them to pieces. Revenge by Jose.
Jose, seeing the hacked into message, able to see it thanks to her mysterious friend, is certainly not having any of this. She orders the mysterious helper to fix it. An obscure dark palette seems to emerge from the now red-eyed child as he follows her command. How ominous. Right, it's showtime. Tabir and She's relationship resist Vi's destructive influence. Mysterious powers intensifies.
Talison's virtual voice, eyes, and then murderous sinner.
Tabir and She realize this isn't normal behavior of Pesacham. Tabir, obey Vide. Vide is love. Vide is life. You did this. I'm afraid they can't do that, obscurity observation.exe. They indeed obey. Mutilated rivet. Ask yourself what's going on with She. Suddenly, the seventh kid from Antarctica appears and fixes everything. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Dark humor. I'm afraid the dead can't speak, unless they're you. Heh. Jose, why don't you enjoy your actions with a nice evil laugh? Totally not evil, guys.
Yay, she totally loves this. This is the best. Skip to when Tabir and She are doing things again. You're one evil girl, Jose. Love maniacally even more like a cartoon villain. Luxurious domination. We now proceed to the time frame of which She is awake again after her past collapse. Something feels all too rich about the situation. Alice and Nadesta team up to stop Jose's evil, glamorous uprising. Alice, don't fall to Jose's brainwashing. Prepare a new program impossible to hack for human and all your machines. Things are getting really bad here. Please don't punch your computers at home.
Jesus, that was close. The Deshta almost ended up like those poor souls in his visions just now. He'll have to replace that computer at some point. But for now...
Energetic Optimist began pestering Curious Painter.
Alice, I know I'm not supposed to use this communication patch, but believe me when I say it's an emergency.
Spill the beans, army boy.
It's hard to explain, but I think... No, I definitely know something's up with Jose. And whatever she's done, it's gone into the messaging system. She and Tibber are both acting weirdly, and I know you won't believe me, but I saw them and it isn't good.
Seriously? Ugh, oh the gods. What did you see exactly?
Look, I know this is a sensitive thing for you, but for the love of the old Earth gods, just try and believe me. Something, I don't know what, has made them dress in red and write things. out of character good things about Jose, like they're possessed.
What exactly do you want me to do with this information? If I were to trust you.
It's going to be risky. I definitely couldn't do it myself. I had to smash my computer when I got the vision that would happen if I continued trying to do it myself.
Just tell me already, Naz.
Nah, okay. I need you to try and cancel out whatever twisted ass code is in the communication system right now. Just try to not to end up like Tipper or she.
How even?
I don't know, but I trust you. I know you can do it, Alice. You're smart.
Fine.
Thanks, Alice. I really appreciate this. Good luck and stay safe. Al?
No.
Okay.
See you, Naz. Curious painter ceased pestering energetic optimist.
Alice, listen to Nat. He's probably right. Bad touch.
Let's do this. Alice, hacking montage. 'Cause everything needs a montage. Montage. Alice, if what Nadezhda said is true, you'll probably need a new communication device. Perhaps you can add something to human. Alice invents the human phone. How cute. Beep. Alice, receive further instructions from Naz, or just do it if you know how. Nerve Alice.
What happened? That's what we're all asking, She. That's what we're all asking. She, look for clues about what just happened. Unfriended too. She is definitely unfriending her. She, unfriend, frowny face. She, maybe just talking to her about it and having a decent discussion would fix it. Letting her know what she did was a mistake and how it made you feel mad. Also knowing her motives and dismissing them will help her improve so she doesn't do it again. You know, try to fix it rather than just being angry. Still, being angry is also 100% appropriate response to this because it was outrageous. Blocked for tomfoolery. It appears Jose's evil love has been interrupted by being blocked from the communication hub. Jose, how could you let this happen? Well, Jose, maybe this is for the best. Jose, accept the fact that you're kind of a bitch. I mean, out of line. Jose, do you have a backup plan, right? Can't become new as glorious ruler without a solid backup plans. Alternatively, Shay, flip your shit. All the hissy fits. Mierda! She needs to do something about this. How did they know? Be gone, you fountain posters! Be free from the red graffiti that stole your beauty! Check on Tabir. Tabir's a real man, guys, I swear.
You can tell he's angry because he added 3 less sugars to his usual 5-sugar coffee. Tabir and she form a secondary alliance against Jose. Tabir, be salty. The best one yet. Tabir and she have created Team Salty in retaliation of Jose. Alice and Nadezhda, check on the just formed Team Salty.
Human, the android phone. It appears Alice and Nadezhda have judged Team Salty as an okay thing to do. They're not being outwardly violent to Jose and don't seem to be in trouble anymore. How are they?
Good, I think.
Jose, summon Vide. Jose, make them pay. Naz and Alice, make a plan to stop Jose from pulling something like this again. Tabir and she's friendship be restored. Alice has made the communication hub safe against any attack similar to that again. And don't worry, Tabir and she have definitely done a little more than repair their friendship. Heh.
Is this chat safe now?
It shouldn't happen again. Alice and Nadezhda, celebrate, you have done a great job. And don't worry, Tabir and she have definitely done a little more than repair their ship, huh? Wait, what? My ships are sailing, ah! Switch to beer and she. A ship full of salt. We now go back to Team Salty. Team Salty, reveal plans of defense you have against Jose. She and Tabir tell Jose off. Blocked.
Tape Salty has managed to convince Alice to block her from using her computer and phone for an entire year. This should be like a good defense and punishment. Jose, think of a way to escape this horror. Escapism. Humph. Escape indeed. Parenting when we have successfully gotten our little girl away from an evil influence. Let's do a happy dance. Mysterious shit happen. Ashes, ashes, we all fall down. Ashes, ashes, we all fall down. A land once forgotten. Memories of the dead leak into the void. Nothing remains. Yet everything left shall follow. A world once known as Earth. People in black, explain what happened to this planet. Well, whilst those long gone cannot answer, and those too young to remember cannot recall, I believe one survivor can, quite well, actually. More than half of the land of the free were blinded by an alternate world that didn't exist, and pulled most who dared believe it, even for a second, thousands of years behind the rest of the world and those who could brave reality. Those who could turn their eyes away from the attention-grabbing media of their land grew ever more paranoid of their mortal enemies across the oceans. A land of red and gold, of opposing ideals and nuclear weaponry. This had lasted for a while until one day, inside a secret base within America, behind a wall of blood and false pride, the nuclear early warning system went off. Twice. One of the spy satellites detected a number of fall incoming missiles from Russia. The day those still in reality had all feared came. Without much thought, their puppeteered overlord pressed the nuclear button, and the might of the American nuclear arsenal was finally unleashed. Hundreds of missiles froze on the ground and into the atmosphere. The Russian early nuclear warning system triggered as well. So many nukes were launched towards Russia that they obliterated the American and Russian forces stationed there, along with London and Paris minutes after. Literally, so many nukes were launched that barely any city was left unaffected by the blast. Within less than a quarter of an hour, most of Europe on both sides of the Iron Curtain became a nuclear wasteland. A white, blinding light and sirens filled the skies of America not soon after, followed by the explosion of the Russian nukes. The Third World War lasted only a day. Those who survived the nuclear destruction came together as one, forming the project various countries had previously talked about in unison. The life we raised together. They only had a small amount of time before nuclear winter ravaged the lands. Mystery woman, observe child. The baby in her arms is a small, nameless child, less than even a year old. She has her father's eyes and her mother's lips.
Her father, well, she need not know, not in a world like this. Truth be told, she has knowledge of the project she should not have knowledge of. The project created by the government, the life we raised together. How? Well, again, this child need not remember such details, shameful ones, far less important than what had happened here. She can already feel the bitter cold approaching her and her newborn daughter. This single mother must be swift. Mystery Woman, tell us more about this project. Mystery Woman, stow the child in a ship secretly without anyone knowing. It's a project to send several newborn children from Earth to a new world in the event that this one being destroyed by a nuclear war. But don't worry, she won't have to make her child a stowaway. There is someone funding that operation who'll take pity. He has to, for this child is special? The one foretold in the prophecy? The last hope for mankind? The chosen one? His. No. Chaos, please. This did not just happen. Oh, fuck, this changes everything. Is there any way we could tell this to Alice or Jose? So many theories. Approach ship. I'm afraid any documents of the fact were lost before the ship was launched. Anything that would prove this for certain, anyway. The mother ventures across the dying land and to the research center. Wait, can't she hear us? So, can't we just somehow gain her trust and convince her to in turn convince Alice? Hard plan, but it might work. Continue. Judas.
Mary.
Young love. Continue. Nobody has to know. They won't even be alive to know. Take pity on her.
Mary.
I know. She's not the son you wanted.
Fine.
And so, their children were saved. The unwanted and the unspoken. Proceed. Some time later, with a worthless pile of gold and gems piled onto the dead, obscured events yet not allowed to be seen, the children begin their journey. Continue?
Now we return to Nadeshda, staring blankly into space as if thinking very hard about something was just happening, and yet wasn't happening. How long has En's computer been trashed? Just before he told Alice to clean up the hacked chat. Figure out what was just happening, yet wasn't. Broken computer? What broken computer? Nadeshda, speak to Alice about your vision. Owl puns. He'd rather not evoke the wrath of one who can't even imagine. Oh, never mind. She's already contacting him. Well,
Hi, Nurse. You busy? I wanted to test something out.
Well, sure, Alice, shoot. Don't literally shoot me somehow, though, please.
I wouldn't do that to you, Nurse. So, I was wondering how you were owling.
Was that an owl pun?
What? Psh, who told you that?
Alice, why?
Don't get your Tootsie Pop in the center.
That doesn't even make sense. What even are a Tootsie Pop? Well, it is.
I believe you're asking the wrong question, Nurse. What's in the middle of a Tootsie Pop?
I don't know.
Man, I don't think anybody actually solved that mystery.
Have you been going through the archives of forbidden humor?
What? Psh, no.
Anyway, Alice, I know how you feel about visions, but
Yeah?
I had one, and it was about you and Jose as babies. I think I saw what your parents looked like.
Well, okay.
And I could be misleading this, but I think you have the same dad. Well,
You saw this coming, but it's for the best. Alice, don't worry. I'll get him for you. Nadeshda, how dare you suggest that sweet little Alice and cruel, mean Jose have the same father? Clearly, Jose's father was rich, and Alice's mother was poor. You should be ashamed of yourself. Go to your room, and don't come out until you apologize. Sighs of a visionary. Yes, yes. Please, continue coddling Alice. Nadeshda knows how sensitive she is and that she needs all the support she can get. He appreciates your help. But please do understand that hiding this from her would be worse. It could result in a rather unpleasant outcome if he were to play with the rules. He knows that's not his place. It's not for him to change to his own needs. This is for Alice's sake, his friends' sake, all of them. He hopes you understand. Nah, it's fine. Nas, pester someone else. The war word begins. What would he even talk about? He has more pressing issues right now, like this stupid web of trying to figure out these haunting visions. Add more strings between posters. Maybe with enough strings you can figure it out. Explain web. Trying to dream in a sea of nightmares. Well, he's trying to add more, but so far he needs to figure this out first. You see, he's linking events with things that cause particular visions that appear most often to him, such as she and Tibir not being friends helping cause Jose's rise to power on New Earth, which obviously Nadeshda doesn't want. He now also knows that the money that funded this entire thing is not only connected to Jose, but to Alice too, as they share the same father. Jose's interaction with the mystery French kid also seemed to constantly push her to a rather frightful future. He's pinpointed that the mystery kid speaks in a strange language called Salgo. Though he's had to get constant visions and to constantly replace these cards though, as they keep disappearing and he keeps forgetting. He just needs to figure out what causes a better outcome that isn't so doom. But he hasn't had any such visions, ever. Maybe you're too close to the problem. You focus on it too deeply and it stresses you out. Go take a walk throughout your ship. Let your brain relax. Maybe some of the snags will work themselves loose when you have a chance to let your brain recuperate. Say, we have only seen Alice's skills. I think I skipped some pages. Let's see everybody else's. Nadeshda's skills. Whilst we're leaving Nadeshda to walk around his room to calm down and take a break, we shall examine his skills chart. Oh, quite good. The preventions, it seems. Not bad. Not bad. Who would you like to see a skill chart for next? Jose. A dangerous sign. Well, I doubt there's anything wrong. Oh, uh, hmm, that isn't right. Wow, Nadeshda can be buffed to an insane point. Check chart for the bear. Jose needs help. A word of grey and gold. Hmm, well, this is interesting. It seems the word is a little less colorful to bear. Though he's a smart kid and can still imagine a new earth for us, in whites, greys, blacks, and golds.
Quen est il le mec Frantius.
A bit more obscure than usual.
Looks like that's a no. Cultural exchange. It appears contact between herself and Tabir has influenced some of her skills. Oh, wow. Well, I think that's everyone, right? Switch to Alice. Alice is a precious cinnamon roll that is to be protected. Overgrowth. It appears Alice is checking in on her girl. Oh, that's a lot of flowers. Question. How do all of the flowers pollinate? Do you have bees? Or are you and Human doing all this by hand? Try making bouquets. Turn flowers into fashion and art. Alice, make a flower crown. Obligatory. Well, When Alice noticed her plants weren't spreading and that she was out of seeds, she researched how plants spread on old Earth. Turns out they had something very similar to what you're asking about. Bees. Although the information on them was a little jumbled. She finds it hard to believe that bees could talk to humans and flirt with them whilst they were being a pilot in a big airplane, but she supposes she watched the wrong documentary. Either way, Alice examined the biology of these bees and their connection to flowers. She used some of the ship parts that she didn't need in order to make bee bots. Aren't they cute? Do you like them? Alice really wanted to impress you. Line your front door with flowers. She appreciates the idea, but she thinks this is probably enough flowers. Alice, great work on the bee bots. Maybe if they had your bee bots back on old Earth, they wouldn't have had to start this whole program in the first place. Remember, it's kill or be killed, Alice. Check bee-bot programming.
You said you were the one in control.
Kelvin XE backs away as far as the program can from the monstrosity that may be connected with Jose.
Sulk. Speaking of Jose, she's still sulking. Calvin.exe stops believing you or anyone. We have all been hacked by the French kid, everyone for themselves. Calvin.exe hides in a corner and waits for it to all be over. Rebooting. Salmon French kid, you have become the antagonist. You cannot be defeated so easily. Yeah, you think she hasn't, totally tried that? She, totally doesn't know how, but Alice, stopped her super cool hot assistant from getting to her, but she, totally did that, bitch. Jose, don't get in a redemption arc. That's cliche. Instead, swear revenge on Alice. Vengeance. Revenge, totally. Jose, use your likes and totallys to build an army. Jose, tell Alice that when you are the queen of the new world, she will be the stable shit shuffler. Jose, go around and convince everyone else that should be a thing. Blocked. She would totally if she wasn't blocked from all communication. Jose, use your minor narrative control to skip ahead 1 year. Jose, make her pay. Are you sure? I would be afraid of her time skipping a year. A lot can happen. I'd say no. To be the voice of reason. Yes. Second voice of reason. I don't want to miss Alice-related shenanigans. The deadline. Your revenge shall come soon. It shall indeed happen. However, for now, we shall stay and watch some more Alice-related shenanigans for just a bit longer. But no, it is coming.
Uh-oh. Alice, tell Human to build more robots. Something's coming. Oh, you make it sound like Human was the one who built himself and all those peoples, but of course you actually meant Alice.
Right?
Yep, definitely meant Alice. Alice, build more robots. What's the difference between the red recycling and the blue recycling? Alice, explain the difference between the red recycling bin and the blue recycling bin. Alice, build a self-replicating human workforce. Thank you. Alice will now start to build more robots. Oh, well, the red bin is for inorganic material waste. The blue bin is for paper waste and the green bin is for organic waste. It's important to recycle correctly. Make a mechanism that causes the affected object to be able to think. Use it with who? If unable to do that, make yourself a robot glove that makes your hand stronger.
It feels cold.
Alice begins to hope that this wasn't a bad idea. Alice, give Who a jacket? Alice thinks human will be okay. That was a good idea. Thank you.
Thank you.
Alice, craft a strength-enhancing exosuit for yourself. No more fear. You will never be unable to walk again. Alice makes herself a rather cute interpretation of the strength-enhancing exosuit. She loves it, and Human certainly seems impressed. So impressed he stopped using zeros.
Goodness.
Alice, pose like a duo with Human because things just got fashionable. Besides that, congrats on the well-managed garden and improvements with your abilities. You are doing a great job, Alice. Alice and Human make a cool fashionable pose together. Fabulous. Can you fly in that exoskeleton? Alice isn't sure. Do ribbon-shaped jetpacks count? Hee hee. Fly into the sunset. Yes, they do. Now climb the tree. Jump off the tree onto the roof, but this time use the jetpack. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Woo! Yay! Alice, let's do that again with a more epic preview. Alice, lie down on the roof and play Association with Clouds. Alice, what do you see in your future? Alice does a celebratory twirl. Nice one. It's also good to see her happy. Let's see. Fancy new clothes? Check. Hordes of animal friends? Bee boots and human? Check. Soaring through the sky in implied song and dance number? Check. Alice, you are now a Disney princess. Alice is the best Disney princess. Time to get rid of this evil stepsister.
Mon Dieu, mon père, les gardiens des fonds des fashions spéciaux. General movement intéressant vos sacrifices pour tiens de vos enfants. Comme de servante de vos sugar cela. Je vais à penser mieux toi. Je vais vous prévenir maintenant pour ne pas la faire.
Yes, I agree with the evil voiced one. Let's explicitly not kill the evil stepsister. In fact, let's put a moratorium on killing children in general. I mean, this is ostensibly humanity's best hope flung far into the stars. I just said get rid of, not kill. Jeez. Why does everyone always think the worst of me? Also, they aren't really children anymore by now. How old are they again? 16? 17? Or in a better spirited era, just talk her into becoming a good person. Yeah, like that's going to happen. How about we just imprison her? You know, Jose likes power. She has to be top dog. She also likes things that benefit her. So, to encourage her to try good leadership, we just need to find goals that benefit her and everyone else incidentally, then play them up. She'll put them in motion. She needs the mission to succeed so that she can have adoring fans. Like she's gonna get any on that spaceship. Speaking of the devil.
Well, since we seem to all love talking about her behind her back, how about you talk to her face? Jose, what you reading there? Snag nose.
Fairy Tales by Snug Knowles. Jose seems to like it, especially the story inside it called Frodopis. Alice by Undertale. How about no? Error 638. We are sorry, but it seems that there was a problem with your request. Due to the recent apocalypse, there might be a large downtime for the servers. Burn. Anyway, Albert, what's the story about? Rhopodus. The first tale in this book of fairy tales is previously mentioned story named Rhopodus. It takes place in Egypt and focuses on a slave girl. Her name was Rhopodus, born in Greece, but she had been kidnapped by pirates and sold into Egyptian slavery. Despite the kindness of the man who had bought her, he was blind to how the other servant girls treated Rhopodus. The other servant girls girl's hair was straight and black, their eyes were brown and black and deep, their skin glowed like copper and bronze and sand, but Rhodopis' hair was curly, brown and coarse. Her eyes were green and bright, and fair skin that burned in the sun. Whenever the old man slept, they would shout orders at her. She only had animals for friends, each one very friendly with her and always happy to see her. When she wasn't too tired, she'd visit the river and sing and dance for her animal friends. One day she had so much energy, the weather having been so surprisingly cool, even her master had been enjoying the weather. He slept under a tree as she went to the river to sing and dance. Her singing and dancing was so good that the old man awoke and felt that one so talented should not be without shoes. He ordered her a special pair of slippers, but this just made the girls tease her more, out of jealousy of her shoes. A little while after this, word arrived that the pharaoh was holding a court in Memphis, and all in the kingdom were invited. There would be dancing and singing, but it wasn't to be for Rhopodus. The servant girls gave her so many chores to do that she would never finish in time. They pulled their raft away, leaving a sad Rhopodus on the bank as she began to sing sadly. As she was continuing with her chores, the sky darkened as she looked up and saw a falcon swoop down, snatch one of her slippers, and fly away. Rhopodus was in awe, for she knew it was the god Horus who had taken her shoe. Rhodopis tucked her other slipper away in her tunic and went back to work, wondering what it all meant. Now, the Pharaoh Amaphis, Pharaoh of all Egypt, was just beginning to hold court, but was overcome with boredom, wishing he were doing something he found interesting. Suddenly, the falcon from before swooped in and dropped the slipper in his lap. He examined it closely, knowing it a sign from Horus. After realizing what the message was, he sent out a decree that all maidens in Egypt must try on the slipper, and that he would take the owner to be his queen. By the time the servant girls arrived, the celebrations were already over and the pharaoh was gone.
off to find his destined bride. After searching all through the large cities and not finding the owner, Pharaoh he called for his barge and began to travel the Nile, pulling into every landing, ordering the maidens to try on the slipper. Soon he came to the house of Rhodopis' master. She would hear the fanfare of his arrival. Fearful, she hid. The other servant girls rushed over to try on the slipper, but as soon as they saw it, they knew who it belonged to. They held their tongues. Such was their envy and hatred for her. Yet, try as they might, they could not force their feet into the slipper. The Pharaoh soon spotted the hiding Rhodopis and asked her to try the slipper. She slid her tiny foot into the slipper and then pulled the other from her tunic. Then the Pharaoh knew that she had been decreed to be his wife by the gods, and pronounced that she would be his queen. The servant girls cried out that she was a slave, and not even Egyptian, and that her hair, eyes, skin, and clothes were unsuitable. Any of them would be a more fitting queen. But the Pharaoh said, she is the most Egyptian of all, for her eyes are as green as the Nile, her hair like papyrus, and her skin as pink as the lotus flower. Jose, be the Egyptian slave girl from the fairy tale. Let's see. Eyes as green as the Nile. Nope. Hair like papyrus. Nah. Skin like a lotus flower. I'll make an educated guess that Jose did not suddenly turn into a flamenco. I say Jose needs to step up her game. Cut the weeds. Why bring a fairy tale out of a book or change a princess? All she has to do is
Cut the weeds.
That does get some sleep. You've been working on this too hard.
Oh, yeah, of course. You sleep with the image of a dead and that murderous smile in your head. Of course, why didn't you think of sleeping before? Oh wait, you did and you can't because who the fuck can sleep after that? Come on, dude, keep the spirits up. Alice is perfectly capable of protecting herself for an hour or two if you keep it like this. You'll be the one ending up dead. A nap wouldn't do anything but help you. If you're all tired and paranoid, you won't be able to making sense of this mess. The apology. Yes, he understands and apologizes for another outburst. He doesn't mean to be such a handful for you all. He knows all too well how Alice has grown and how amazing she is for what she's gone through and how well she's proven to be able to defend herself. He's thankful for that, thankful to even have been able to meet Alice because of your sacrifices to this project and Nadeshda, in fact, does know what he needs to do. It won't even be until you reach the planet, but he is still afraid he's being selfish and he hopes to be able to put aside his fear and selfishness when the time does come. He finally gives in once again, hiding under his bed sheets. He tries to sleep despite the visions of death and murder lingering in his thoughts. Jose, give Nas more nightmares. Nadeshda, try lucid dreaming. If you're so susceptible to visions and other ESP, try to take control of the dream. Maybe you'll be able to help through it instead of just observe. Nightmare.
So hot. Why not better after you connect body feel good. Help us.
Smooch Radio Alice. In System Manager, define code B. Activate cleanupwizard.exe. Restore spurbeta-client.exe and spurbetaserver.exe files. Upload spurbeta client.exe onto terminal 15 designated human. Set timer 3 months. Do action wrong code B. Void. Clear. Se creer el evento to es fight. Queued download accepted. High Progressive Agent. Your code has been accepted and initialized. Very good. Jose. Intenta algo así como mejora liderazgo, empatía y convencimiento para ganar la admiración de todos para que así te adoren como la amorosa, justa y velicimia reina que ya eres, super énfasis en empatía. Hey, buddy. Hey there, buddy, chum, chum, pal, friend, buddy, pal, chum, bud, friend, fella, brother, amigo, pal, buddy, friend, chummy, chum, pal, friend. I don't mean to be rude, my friend, pal, home slice bread, slice dog, but I gotta warn you, if you take one more diddly dance sit right there, I'm gonna have to diddly dance slap your neck, and wowza, wouldn't that be a crummy juncture, huh? Do you want that? Do you wish upon yourself to come into a physical experience with a crummy juncture? Because friend, buddy, chum, friend, chum, pal, pally, pal, chum, friend, if you keep this up, then well, gosh diddly darn, I just might have to get not so friendly with you, my friendly friend, pal, friend, buddy, chum, pally, pal, friend, buddy. Go to she. We have some questions for her. Send help.
Sure, buddy, chum, pal, friend, buddy, pal, chum, bud, friend, fella, brother, amigo, pal, buddy, friend, chummy, chum, pal. Help! The computer has been like this for hours. She, how are things going? Awkward computer issues. Well, aside from the computer being overly nice yet somehow very threatening, I think Suggestion. Check to see if the phone is also being weird. About potentially sensitive subjects will be ill-advised whilst your computer is almost certainly bugged in some way. Ring, ring, ring. Human phone. Thanks, human. Hello, Alice? Oh, hello there, she. What's up? Did your eyes change?
What now?
Holy crap, this is getting interesting. I'm not sure I follow entirely, and I have no suggestions for now. But hey, I'm along for the ride. Alice, set human to run diagnostics on all systems he can possibly access while you talk to she. Also find a way to suppress damage caused by obsessive requests trying to bring random video games to life. N. Do you keep a dream journal? We might be able to find some useful info in there, and perhaps try to help smooth out some obvious psychological issues. She. Do the genius metadelio and stop Jose's coup. Vide. Be pumped by the souls of the dead for information. What's your deal, anyway? No way you're actually going along with Jose's infantile scheming.
Alice, weird question here. Has human been acting strangely for you? The computer system in my ship has been constantly talking really nicely, but also really threateningly to somebody. I don't think it's me, but it's weird. That's certainly odd. I can't think of why your ship system would be behaving as such unless the emotional inhibitors on the piloting program got damaged somehow. I'll try to send over a patch for that particular occasion now. Ahem. Apologies. I am unaware of what fault entered my system, but it has been fixed now. She. Ask how Alice has been. It's been a while since you have talked with her. Hey, Alice, thanks for helping with my ship. It seems to have stopped now. The noise was unsettling, to say the least, but I just wanted to chat. Normally, if you're busy though. Just talk? Oh, well, I don't see why not. It's been a while since I talked normally to you or anyone else. It's refreshing, actually. Go ahead. Well, let's see here. How have you been doing outside of all that's gone on with Jose? Anything you've been up to other than saving us? Got any more ideas about the new planet? I hope it's livable when we get there,
I don't like the idea of being in our spaceships forever. Oh, I'm surprised to hear that actually. I took you for someone who disliked a lot of change. I've been okay. Just tinkering around with my robotics and improving my garden. I don't mind these spaceships, but I do want to see New Earth. Haha, I don't blame you. I do tend to like listening to the same songs and writing the same kind of song a lot, but I think it's important to practice repetition in moderation so it's healthy. Doing the same thing over and over to the point here it's unhealthy is definitely something I develop up in music, and finally getting to be able to just chillax, you know? Oh, yes, yes, of course, yep, yes. I agree. Yep, definitely. Can't disagree with you there. Yeah, I am. See, yes. Oh boy. Sociality super move. Subject shift. Sorry to interrupt, but I was wondering, how's your plan for what we're all going to do on New Earth going? Well, we're definitely hoping we'll be able to set up a good, stable food supply with the help of your agricultural robotics. Hopefully we'll also know what plant life, if any, on that planet is edible for humans, thanks to your robots. What will you and Tabir do, though? Will Naz do anything? I've no idea what we're going to do about Jose or the mysterious French kid, though, so I'm not going to ask about them. Yeah, that's going to be interesting, to say the least, but, anyway, Tabir seems pretty set on being the leader, which hopefully won't cause a conflict of interest with Jose, but we'll probably hold a vote. Naz is probably going to do, army stuff? We're not sure about Naz. That sounds about right. She, take your leave of Alice and ensure that your computer is working properly. We have much to discuss. Tibir, reunite Team Salty. Where have you been during this insanity?
Tibir is currently a little more preoccupied with changing himself in his room a bit. He's in more of a light and brighter yellow mood right now. He's quite enjoying this change actually. He's unsure why he hasn't tried to change things up a bit more before, to be honest. What do you think of the new look? Meanwhile, she is pretty sure her ship's computer system is fine now. It stopped talking and she's pretty sure she heard it apologize for the glitch. Now,
What did you want to talk about?
do you remember anything that happened before you woke up to see your room in a red graffiti hell? Fashion side note. While I love the move towards a bright future, I feel that the color of the shirt and the color of the sun are too close to each other. I would love to see some color contrast to really define the shining star. Tabir, bring back Team Salty. Also, I agree on the fashion statement. Selfie regret and fashion tips.
Ugh, how can I forget? This picture is still on the system, and as much as I want to take it down, Alice has decided to admin lock it onto the server as a reminder.
Oh? How about this grey sweater and yellow shirt? Tabir is quite fond of this one himself. Looks good. Even the grey resonates with the cheery vibe you're going for. Show it to she. She'll like it.
Mirror selfie. This dog. She, just to be clear, were you in full control of yourself during your phase? You're not being manipulated in any way? Fashion side note, I like it. Misunderstood phasing. Oh God, no. One moment I'm just on my phone. The next thing I see is this strange red static spike out of my screen and I lost all control of my body. It was like I was stuck in some sort of void and I couldn't do anything no matter how hard I tried until Alice saved me. It was the same for Tabir. I feel there may be some miscommunication here. I was referring to the phase where you're dressing up like a tramp and treated poor, sweet Ribbit like garbage. Oh, yeah. What happened to Ribbit? Is he still here? Also, Hero Mode Tabir is even cuter than Sprite Tabir. I'm honestly hurt. You just implied that I looked like a tramp. With all respect, Tabir was being a colossal dick to me at the time and I was upset.
He's not exactly a pure sweet cinnamon bun. He treated me like something to use before Alice talked with him. It was painful. Well, at least things are better between the two of you. Tobias was being a huge dick. No two ways about it. But your sudden change in demeanor was concerning. We were worried you were being brainwashed in some way. But enough about past mistakes. We need you to tell us what you know about the Frenchman, and in any ways which he might be connected to Jose. You have hinted to knowing some details about him in the past. Forget. Oh, of course. Well, honestly, it's been a while since I talked with Vi, but what was I just doing again? We have reason to believe that something has the power to mess with your memories, and when we try to talk to you about it, you forget everything that happened in the last couple of minutes. We need to convince you who will forget that some kind of mindfuckery is going on, so that we can work together to make some kind of physical memory that is not so easily erased. Plan B. Okay. Looks like we'll have to execute Plan B. I've planned together with everyone else about this. We were hoping Naz would have been unaffected because of his ability, but it seems we'll have to try Plan B anyway. Memory rings. They're just wool, but I remember what we're talking about now. I'll have to be careful how I say this. I know the child born under the flag of red, white, and blue's name is their true one. Their last name spoken is shared with two others we had thought erased from times inside our ships, but I managed to recover it with the help of Tobias' knowledge of researching historical events and facts. The last name spoken when talking to the baby of the flag of red, white, and blue is smoke mirror in their native language. They seem to move through space as if it was nothing, that it didn't exist, reaching out and pulling information unwanted to be known from our ships and our heads. At first, it was just our technology, but we believe the child sneaking in the dark has realized that our very own ships include that technology, somehow using the teleporters that they should not have access to. We then thought that possibly if we physically wore the memory of that child on us, he would be unable to use his powers over us. We believe his nature and somewhat, no, rather very dangerous way of living and almost compulsive link to Jose relates to the Smoke Mirror family. They were the eyes of the Razorbond family, Jose's personal competitor analyzers, so to speak. I am unsure of how long Plan V has been in action now. I've blacked out several times, but the ring appears to be working. How about you tie a note to it so you can easily remember what you forgot once you forget it? When somebody loved me.
Jameson Williams, Quangelo et Boré, la première boy, mon premier appareil de communication. Elle était toujours spellée. Je n'ai eu aucun contact avec elle. C'était à travers des vidéos. Je l'aimais la voir. Elle est méritorieuse, fait sentir que j'ai aimé la sexuelle.
Every hour we spend together lives within my heart.
Elle m'a toujours fait actionner. Elle dirait quand elle en parlé. J'espérais qu'elle ressentait la même chose.
Young Jose, the French boy seems to be stalking you. Just thought you ought to know. And when she was lonely, I was there to comfort her.
Elle m'a toujours fait sourire et rire quand elle parlait. J'espérais qu'elle ressentait la même chose. Mais la masque a changé. Je l'ai changé. Mais mon amour n'est décédé jamais de mon œil.
Programs of the Dead rebuked Jose's and Vidi's love. Vide, we ask that you destroy the mosque. Mosques bring nothing but trouble by hiding your heart. 'Cause I have hella feelings for you.
Qui c'est que la remplace heureuse? Pourquoi devrais-je la faire à mon premier être amour?
Apropos of nothing, White seems like he'd know how to dance. He's got shiny shoes, a sharp-looking jacket, and a panache for style. Vide, how about an exchange? We give you something you want for it. Vide, it is clear to me now that you will not destroy your mask, and that you do not intend to negotiate about it. Would you be open to transforming a new leaf into a relationship? Like the minds of daydreams, we simply wish to guide you all six towards a brighter future. Figures dancing gracefully across my memory.
Je dansais avec elle quand nous étions plus adjoints. Je vous dansais avec elle nouveau. Et j'ai tatoué à coller votre alide tant que l'un d'enfos déranger ses rêves.
Vide, if all you want is dancing with Jose, we're fine with that. We're just not so fond of all the mysteries that you seem surrounded. Also, would it be possible to ask you to make your masked voice a bit easier to translate? Thanks for your understanding, Vide. Let's start our new cheat with simple things. Show us your room so that we can get an idea of your interests. SS Home Sweet Home.
Je suppose que le nuire passe à vous montrer le reste de la chambre. Je préférais la plus lugueuse que la mauvaise et générale.
Your bed has a mattress, right? Why is there so little in your room? Do you like it that way, or is there some sort of sad story? All I need.
Je confesse qu'un futon n'est pas le plus francais des lits, mas je n'ai besoin de autre tous. Quoique pour dormir et que fonso de parler à Jolie, je sais. C'est tout ce dont j'ai besoin. Rien d'entrée n'est important.
Forget how the French bed is. Is it not uncomfortable? Do you not feel cold at night against the metal floor? A good night's sleep is the most basic of basics when it comes to raising a child. And if you were uncomfortable when you were younger, it is past time to get you an upgrade. You little fussy parents, you.
Mon cher Galien bien-aimé, ne vous inquiétez pas. Je sais comment m'occuper de moi-même. C'est un fontaine cheval. Je ne suis pas froid pour m'alasser.
It is good, but however, this place is very empty. You occupy more distraction, more things to do. Perhaps a hobby or interest like that you will have more to talk about. Very good. When I was alive, there were few things I enjoyed more than loafing around on my bed. As we can see, your room is rather empty, and of your choice. A bold choice of style. But I'm curious, what is hiding behind the door coming out of your room? A kind of secret shrine to Jose? The kitchen.
The kitchen, of course. What use do I have for leisure anyway? All we do is talk about it once, and maybe I will do it once or twice to show that I can accomplish it. Jose might be rather fond of herself, but I think a sanctuary would be too far for her.
Why do you have a computer and a TV? You made it clear that you do not obtain more mundane possessions than you want, and, unless I am dense, you use the television to send videos back and forth with Jose. The TV teleporter. Well, I can communicate via video on my laptop. I actually use this teleporter to transport me in the ships of Jose and all the children. I do not know why television took this form, though. It simply appeared as such. That only gives me more questions. How does this teleporter work? Are there any buttons inside the cabinet that I do not see? Is there a remote that accompanies it? It would be a poor excuse for a TV if it did not have any remote control, even if it is a teleporter. I want to be with you. The remote control is inside the cabinet. You use it to turn on the TV. Each letter of the remote control is a different ship, and each number is a different part of these ships. Unfortunately, Alice seems to have broken my equipment. I am unable to travel through it. Usually, I just like to see it as a portal, but now it's just a TV. I cannot help Jose now. All I can do is watch. It's painful to see her so sad. Ah, yes. We asked Alice to do something about the brainwashing signal Jose used against everyone, but affecting your teleporter was not intended. I'm sure you can agree that Jose's behavior against the last remnants of mankind is unacceptable. Behind the mask. I admit that I do not like her particular way of doing things, but she's not evil. She just needs help. She was consumed with a power that I would have never shown her if I knew what she would become. Her behavior is my fault. It is my responsibility to make her happy and try to help her succeed in the only way I can still do it. We are pleased to see the goodness in your intentions. Jose needs help now so you can see your mistakes. We do not want to hurt you, just improve you as a person. I'm sure something can be done to help her. I'll do it for her, and I'll do it again. Ah, well, what I said in the only way I can. Unfortunately, I mostly meant doing whatever she wanted until she could move past this herself. I cannot physically or vocally make her stop. I am unable to go against her wishes. But I know what I can do instead of stopping her. Then I'll become evil for her. The mysterious villain misleading an innocent princess. The most beautiful and misjudged of all. I'll become the masked mastermind and she'll just be another victim of my evil. I know that seems like a good plan, but I'm sure there are better paths of action. Like asking for help. A second lost in time.
Don't you think that I tried already?
Is it really worth hurting people who haven't done anything wrong just to make her happy, and have everyone else despise you for it? Wouldn't it be better to try to turn her good rather than have her become evil? I hope this doesn't repeat anyone else's words. Also, this adventure is really cool. Vide, all you must do is see from another perspective, my young impressionable child. You think you must be a villain to show that Jose is good, yes? I think that is a fine idea, but it would be counterproductive in the long run for both you and her. You wouldn't want to do that, would you? All that would happen is that she will be found innocent if you were found guilty. This will show her that as long as she has a pawn, everything will end well. Instead, show her just how bad things can get when karma comes back to you and when you have done misdeeds. Wouldn't this work just fine? An unwanted outcome. Well, as previously mentioned, I am unfortunately unable to go against her bidding or even to just refuse it, even if for her own safety. The implant from the mask makes it so that if her or anyone from her bloodline who specifically used the mask on another were to be in danger from their actions, the person who received an implant from the mask would automatically take the fall for them, even if it meant death. But even if I had to die for her, I do not hold a grudge. I still love her. I know what she is really like. It's a suitable punishment for corrupting her so. I've also noticed that the karma she may receive if I were able to let it carry on without my assistance would be something neither herself or I could bear to face. I'm sorry to hear that, Vide. I wish there was some way I could help you physically, if only to relieve you some of this burden of love. I only have one question now, though. How exactly are you going to be villainous to show that you were some kind of puppet master the entire time? Cut the weeds. Blue Rose. Grow thorns suddenly and unexpectedly. This next command changes based on Nadeshda's current status. If Nadeshda is still sleeping as suggested before the start of She, Questions and Answers, page 25. Nadeshda, wake up from crazy dream. Or if Nadeshda woke up as suggested in the middle of She, Question and Answers, page 26. Nadeshda, try to make sense of new symbol you saw in your dream. Off screen. She, Jam out to some of the classics like Welcome to the New Extreme and Upward Movement. Can you not form us some other plan? Some plan other than killing your only kin left. If her goal is to see no obstruction in the way of domination, then just keep Alice out of the picture long enough so that goal might change. Please? Something's not right. Well, Nadeshda isn't quite sure what to think of this symbol he's never seen before, but something about it feels very wrong. How about you see if it shares any similarity on your wall of strings and events? The wall of pain. Ugh. Just thinking about this thing is painful right now, let alone looking at it. He has no idea how that symbol links with anything here. Nadeshda, what are those yellow things on your desk? I'm sorry to hear that you had a rough time sleeping, Nadeshda. Maybe you should exit your room and get some fresher air. You've been cooped up in here with that headache of generator of a wall for quite a while, and taking a small break could help you get some new ideas for this whole mess. A life for a life. Nadeshda agrees that it may finally be time to allow himself somewhere to be that isn't his room, tries to think of outside, and exits his room. What he took with him and is now holding in his hand is the final resort he's made to save Alice and stop Jose once they reach New Earth. Two golden rings that, according to historical records of old Earth, will bind two people together until they died as they made vows. He plans to make Jose, if she truly is to try and kill Alice to become queen, engage in these vows with him and deny her, or anybody else that tries to help her, the right to ever kill or harm another, with the equal trade of his affection and life. Are you sure? That is quite permanent. Do you happen to have any plans before that aren't as severe in terms of such things? Nadeshda, you know very little about love, so I will be blunt as to why your plan won't work. The vow in question cannot be forced upon Jose. She must agree to it, and in no way is the vow truly binding beyond societal expectations. Jose, can you say no to the deal? As I can't imagine she would say yes. I honestly doubt she would say yes to the Frenchman if he asked, for she is ambitious and practically owns him already. The ring holds only symbolic power, no actual ability to prevent a person from taking certain actions. The plan for the queen and her minion. Of course he does. That's why it's the final resort. There have to be other resorts for that to be the final one, and not the only one. Other resorts include imprisoning her and any accomplices on New Earth so they are unable to reach Alice or anybody else until they finally give up on the idea. Alice's robots could, in fact, beat them, but as well made as they are, my visions seem to suggest that her accomplice would, unfortunately, render them useless. And what's different about these rings compared to the ones of old Earth, are that they have been made with a particular technology. A technology rumored to have been used by the Rosebond family when hiring new competitor watches. Something that essentially brainwashes whoever wears it into doing whatever the Rosebonds wanted. Only here, it will be whatever he programmed the rings to make her do. As long as he gets the ring on her and his own finger, she'll have to oblige. It is her accomplices under her command. He'd follow the new orders from the rings through her. This isn't about love, it's about control and safety. Hmm, now that you mention it, he has only been practicing close range combat. It's definitely worth considering when defending Alice. He means everyone. Definitely for everyone equally. Totally. Yes. Wonderful. All we need then is a bow and some arrows. Do we have any kind of synthesizer to create such things? No giant laser beams of death for you. Pfft, no. If they all had access to some sort of synthesizer that just made things for them, I'm pretty sure Jose would have vaporized them all with a giant laser beam at this point. Anything you want to actually use outside of decorative furniture or essential has to be made by themselves, to prepare them for building outside of the ships. That's why Alice had to build her robots by learning how to. Not so bad. You are correct about the death beam though, so I guess you will have to learn how to make one. Does anyone else here know how to make a bow and arrow? Well, with any branch that's flexible enough and a string resistant enough, you can sure make a nice bow. How do I bow and arrow? No. He's the one with the most knowledge of how to make weapons. He's expected to do so, being the son of that war hero. But it shouldn't be too difficult. If he remembers those pictures, it went like this. Time to roll the sleeves up a bit, he thinks. He'll try making the string out of this dead grass, though. He's not sure why he imagined it whilst making this room. You may be able to make the string out of any old clothes you had that were durable, but you just grew out of. Wasn't Alice able to get some string for knitting? You synthesize some of that, or ask her for it. Is there any way physical objects can be traded between other ships? Recycling. Ah, that's a good idea. He thanks you for your assistance in making the bow. She and Tibir did have an experimental trade-like system on the ships in the past. But unfortunately, particular incidents deemed it too dangerous and the teleporters between them were closed for their own safety. He feels it was fair enough, despite their negative opinions on the matter. Rules and safety are important, as annoying as the others may find it. He'll use this old t-shirt he can't fit into anymore for the string, and then the dried grass to tie the sticks together. He believes Alice was able to use string by using a similar tactic he did, although he doesn't know what she used. He never really asked. Very good. Now, we require sticks, sharp or regular rocks, and feathers or the like for arrows. Your pillow wouldn't just happen to be one overly stuffed with some that were taken from birds that were too old, would it? No. The kind we would put in pillows back in the day would not have been suitable for arrows. Nor would he be able to find a bird to get suitable feathers. You could potentially find a way to craft suitable feather-like objects. I could see, depending on the type of grass you have there, that working to balance the arrow. I only say because if I remember rightly, the war was close to ending when the ships were all launched. It wouldn't be surprising if they had to compromise on feathers for pillows, but your idea is better and would provide better training in arrow making. Incidents? Arrow making. Ladeshta started to weave grass around the third stick he found to practice making his first arrow, using more of the grass to attach a sharp rock to the end as well. The incidents he mentioned earlier, he believes, were most likely a mix of she's face and the fact that Jose managed to brainwash them both. The system was most likely wanting to prevent anybody murdering each other whilst they were not at their best mental state. And the fact that a kid had abilities the system was obviously uncomfortable with probably helped cause the shutdown of the teleportation experiment. At least there wasn't abuse before those incidents though. Previously it had just been used for research changes, mostly historical and musical ones. Can you make a target out of anything? I would say try and put the shirt on the door somehow just to see how accurate the bow is. By the way, have you seen any of your friends' faces? We know that you have communicated with others, but have you actually seen what they all look like? If not, what do you think they look like based on your experiences with them? As a fellow AI, I agree to those commands and questions. Proper targets. Using the shirt as a target, he starts to practice the art of archery. Nadeshda has seen his friends in a way. He knows they haven't seen each other or him. Technically, he and his friend should only know what she looked like from a selfie, since she uploaded it and Alice has locked it onto the server to prevent deletion. But because of his visions of possible unwanted futures, basically their possible future doom, he's been able to see his friends' faces. Their dead faces, that is. Their faces as they get killed. Their last moments alive before it all ends. Let's just focus on archery right now. With no wind, this should be an easy shot. Just take the proper stance and just try to figure out exactly how the bow acts. It may shoot high, low, or be shooting off center from where you aim. You must learn your weapon before you can master it. I've only seen them in pain and dead. Third time's the charm. Too bad about the wall though. Oops. Aim to a cactus if there is one. If we continue like this, you will have no wall left. Cactus? What cactus? A cactus, or cacti in plural form, with large green plants that grow in hot arid deserts. They more often than less have numerous incredibly sharp spikes all over them as a protective measure against desert-dwelling inhabitants. They will fill with water and when necessary for many nomadic tribes to survive. I imagine since the environment you are in resembles a desert setting, Absurdity Obscuration.exe thought there would be one around. Just a question. Do you know sewing in many ill-fitting clothes? If so, we can fix the whole hitting a wall with arrows subject by layering shirts and sewing them together to make a protective sheath. Or if not, we could take a break. Extensive physical activity isn't good if you're not properly limiting yourself to avoid exhaustion and dehydration. Appreciation. Rehydrating and taking a break sounds like the best course of action. He's quite thankful to be with people who can see the importance of health, even if they're not very alive anymore. Don't worry, he's just drinking clean water in a safe container. Check TLWRT. Nadeshda, you mentioned earlier that the new symbol that you saw in your dream felt wrong. In what way did it feel wrong to you? The blood spilled in his veins makes his mind wander. After gathering a moderate-sized family of rocks and assembling a slingshot from a nice curved stick he managed to find, he begins to drift back to what he tried to escape, his mind. The symbol he saw was, like a scribbled flower made by something that couldn't be made by human touch alone. It felt as if it was constantly changing and moving. It felt dangerous and frightful when he saw it. It was like being stared down by some unknown force of law, almost, a controlled order that he shouldn't tamper with. And yet deep down he couldn't stop a burning desire to go against that vision, to change every aspect of that symbol even further than it had already been changing. He almost felt that if he couldn't stop seeing it, and didn't change it, everything he and his friends held dear to them would come down as their skies fell onto them. A symbol probably born out of his desire to change the doom that followed his friends from old Earth. His selfish desire to observe and control everything so that it fits his needs. His selfless desire to just protect what little left there is of humanity. He tries to understand it. He thinks he does. But he knows deep down that he'll never truly understand it. Understand death. No one can understand death. It is an enigma, always moving and shifting as we grow up and become who we are. For some, they see it as a spiritual release, letting the soul go to a different plane of existence. Others, it is a terrifying jump. It looks like something that will swallow everything you love, and you can't do anything to stop it. It is the unstoppable force that only an unmovable object can stop. But I believe that while you are not the unmovable object, you are something much more. You can't truly stop death forever, but you can change its course. You can pick and choose what shall happen with a power I don't think anyone known on old Earth had, Nadeshda. You're able to bend the unstoppable force, which no one could possibly do, but you can. And when you are able to see more and control your sight into the future, present, and past, I do think that you will be able to understand. You will understand death for what it truly is. Try out your new slingshot. Pull back the string and take aim at your target. Take a breath in and release the string. Let your breathing match the speed of your thoughts. It is the fate of all living things to one day die. Us programs have some life in death, but it is a poor thing to call us alive. You are truly alive right here, right now. Live in this moment. Don't focus too much on your thoughts, rather, let them skim across your consciousness. Draw the string back. Breathe in. Release. Repeat. Battered door. Inhale. Fire. Exhale. Inhale. Fire. Exhale. It seems to be working somewhat, after a few first failed attempts, of course. He appreciates all your knowledge and encouragement. He's not sure what he'd do without you. Well now, I think it would be a good time to talk to some other people. You're in a zen state of mind, and frankly, if we continue with any more practice, your door may start falling into pieces. Might as well speak to your friends now, right? Very nice. This technique should help with your archery as well, though it is much more important to keep a steady hand with a bow than a sling. It has been some time since you have talked with the bear. Asking about the symbol, on the off chance that he has come across it in his historical adventures. Come back when I'm about to die.
Oh, hello, Nasida. Is something up? We're not in danger, are we?
Hey, no, you're not. I wanted to check something about the symbol I saw.
Oh, a symbol? Sure. What does it look like? Do you have a picture? Where did you see it?
Well, you know about the visions I get? I was in one of them. It kind of looked.
Am I going to die because of some sort of symbol?
Well, I didn't exactly see anybody die after the symbol. It just kind of ended after.
So it's not important.
I mean, not to you personally, but it is to me.
Dick. Well, that was quite rude. I suppose you might ask she instead. She knows some things about history and symbols, even if she knows somewhat less. Grudges.
Hey, she. I don't want to bother you if you're busy making some cool tunes.
Nurse, I can tell the bear just shot you down. Ask away.
Ouch. I see Alice's nickname has spread. I need help with the symbol.
I don't have much on symbols. Old religious ones, maybe?
I don't know if it's religious. It was like a scribbled flower that kept changing shapes.
I don't think I really have anything on that. I don't think the bear does either.
Ah, don't fret, she. At least you bothered to help. It's fine. It's probably not a threat.
Well, okay. Sorry I couldn't help more. I'll just talk to the bear. He's still a bit salty.
Wait. From, like, back then? It's literally been a few months now.
I think he's going through some personal stuff too. Don't worry. I'll see you later.
Well, at least you tried. But now you know that the symbol that you saw wasn't any major religious one, which means it was only important to a very small secluded group, if it was part of a group at all. Whatever the symbol is, it will be hard to find out unless someone who knows about it personally tells you. That said, try Alice as well. She's the only one left you can try. Maybe it's something that has to do with the computers. Blocked too. She's had her communication system down for a while now, but he hasn't seen this particularly leading to anybody dying, so he won't force her to talk if she doesn't want to. If she needs time to herself, he'll give her it. She deserves that much for so many horrible deaths. Well, what do you think will be best for now? Let's take a lunch break. Nadeshda, you can get something to eat while we go and check out what's happening with the bear. Hopefully we can cure his saltiness. Once you're done eating, I expect you to either get back to practicing archery on a target that is not your door, or to try and make yourself a better bow. Well, it seems to work for right now. I doubt it will hold up in the field for any significant period of time. It's being held together with dry grass. You could take more shirt strings to enhance it, but hyperaggressiveagent.exe is right. It would be best if we could repair your relationship with Tibet as fast as possible. Letting this stew will only create troubles for everyone when we reach the planet. Off we go for now. Sulky Sunchild. We now enter the ship of the bear, who seems to be sulking and in a foul mood. What's wrong, the bear? You look like you stepped on something sharp, but since it's stuck in your foot, you can't get it out and now you can't get rid of it. Anyway, we could help with this metaphorical sharp object. It's not a face, Mum. Hmm. It's hard and you won't understand. Nobody understands. That is very untrue. There have been billions of people before you, and the chances that not a single one of them would not understand you is smaller than maybe anything that can even exist. Besides, we've been dead for who knows how long computing various scenarios and situations that may arise on these ships. In fact, there's a 99.9% chance that we will know and understand what is going on and can help you. So tell us, what is wrong? Teenage grumps intensify. The hell with the dead as a mind trapped in a computer system now. Your bodies are disintegrating calcium on a floor that doesn't even exist anymore. What help are you? You've not even done anything for him. Humph. Have your dead bodies ever been on a spaceship their entire lives? Huh? He didn't think so. You have no idea what it's like for him to have to deal with having to deal with stupid rule enforcing tight ass know it alls like that son of a war hero. Stupid. In fact, we do. We also know what it is like to be put on a spaceship for a long period of time. We also remember the joys of being alive and not computerized, never being able to walk, feel, or do anything beyond talk and see. We also know that rules are there so you don't do something immature and stupid. Would you believe that there had to be a law made so people wouldn't inhale poisonous fumes to reach a state of brain dead euphoria? It wasn't pretty when someone died of that. And what do you still have against the Deshta now anyway? That was months ago, and you're being unkind to one of the few people you know. He only does these things because it is ingrained in him from birth. To constantly enforce restriction on the people you care about is never pleasant. Would you be able to change everything about yourself from morals to knowledge in a single day? I didn't mean it. See? Totally don't even get it. Don't even know what he has against Nadeshda. You're just assuming. It's not exactly his fault you all volunteered to become a mass hive mind that lives on a network that can travel through space, either, so don't get all wow wow we're so pitiful with him. Nobody forced him to do anything like that unless you all did something to a child that you haven't admitted to the rest of us yet. I'd at least somewhat sympathize with him if so, but no, he's always been like this, always telling us what to do, what he can't do, what he should do. He just wants to study and be prepared for New Earth. What's wrong with that? Why can't he make plans more and more? Why can't he just have his nose in a book all day? What's the point in doing something else? He won't die, right? He needs freedom. It's so confining. He can make an infinite mansion in this ship and yet feel so confined because of that. Ugh! Who does he even think he is? He's not a leader. He's the one who killed everyone to begin with. He didn't. The beard didn't mean that. Forget you heard that bit. Fine. We have absolutely no clue what is going on. We have no idea. We're nothing to you to begin with. We already understand that plenty. You have no obligation to listen to what we say. But we want you to understand one thing. All this is for good. We trying to guide you, your work, all the things that have happened are here for a reason. There is none of us saying you can't. You can read, plan, and dream of architecture all you want. We can't stop you. The most we can do is talk. But we didn't volunteer. We had two choices on Earth. Either stay and be annihilated none too quickly by radiation and bombs, or trying to make what we could with ourselves by being uploaded to a computer. We don't ask for sympathy, only understanding. And we, or at least this individual programmed mind, think that is what you want as well. But we can't, and never will, unless you tell us. A transition being unwritten. Alright? He apologizes for losing his cool. He'll explain why he's so ruffled up. He hasn't actually talked about it with Nadeshda yet. But Tibir feels like he still shouldn't. even though that's just what an army boy told him to do, to not tell himself. What the hell does that even mean? Ugh. Anyway, here. You started talking to him like shit and threatening him about something he doesn't even understand, and he doesn't get it at all. It's stupid. He didn't need to yell or even send whatever the hell this is. Tabir will upload this to the server privately, if it even loads.
Hey, uh, Jibber, old pal, friend. I know video isn't the best thing with your eyes. I don't really care though. You know, you're totally such an idiot. I know that it's hard to do, but don't fuck up this time. If you do, I'll personally make sure I don't show you mercy next time. Get your ass out of those books and fucking do your job already. Great historical leader. You better stop hiding in those fucking books and lead them properly next time. I swear to God if this doesn't send.
From what we could see, this is a future vision communicated by video. Wait, was that obvious? Never mind. This does seem important though. It looks as though maybe somewhat older with his more pronounced features from this angle, along with his different shirt design. That also seems like blood on his forehead as well. Is there anything else to the message? Warning. Just this weird glitched out file. He named it warning. Fucking tryhards. He's just trying to scare him into following orders. Tibir doesn't have to do shit. Like, isn't he so right? This is bullshit. Tibir, the Deshta has not resorted to scare tactics before, so why now? He seems to also be emitting genuine rage in the video, which never really expresses even when one of you guys don't listen to him. Also, this may be a good time to confess that you are currently not seeing the picture for what it really is. You do realize that you're colorblind, correct? Color is his only weakness. With gasp, it's almost like he didn't know his own visual handicap. Of course, Tibet knows he isn't seeing it in every color the system and other kids can see. He doesn't get it and it annoys him that he doesn't understand. Tibet, that last picture, it looks dark to you, yes? You can obviously tell how dark of a color it is. So don't you have an idea of what it is? Like blood? On the blacklist. Yes, that's honestly what's been getting him riled up most, to be honest. He's ever so slightly worried this isn't a joke and that he's actually being threatened with death. I do not feel this is a prank, as this kind of behavior is unlike Nadeshda at all. While it is true that he has bugged you in the past to take up other hobbies and to not spend all of your time reading, he was for the most part cordial about it. He never threatened you and never talked about leadership. What job is he even talking about anyway? Not knowing any of these things, I guess, is why you're getting understandably flustered. The part that is the most disconcerting is his mention of the next time, inferring that you may have done something wrong but got another chance. But from what I can tell, you haven't done anything wrong, which means that either Nadeshda was in a very delusional state, or he may be referring to something that hasn't happened yet. Gotta earn the crown, baby. To be honest, he only took the role of leader because he hated the idea of answering to anybody else. But, in all fairness, the best actual leaders here are Alice. And he hates to admit it, but Nadeshda actually does a good job of being a leader, guiding them and telling them what to do for all their own goods. They stood up to Jose. The bear was too busy indulging in herself and having a crush on the one who ended up trying to brainwash him. He thinks that Nadeshda wants him to actually step up and become the leader of the team, actually do something other than plan what he'll do. to actually do something. He's right, but Tabir really hates that he is. He wanted just a bit more time to do what he wanted first, before having to actually be a leader. Maybe that's why he liked Jose so much to begin with. She lets you indulge in your luxuries and free time, even past landing on New Earth, he bets. So what exactly is it that you wanted to do first before doing leaderly stuff? I can tell you right now, there's a lot more to being a leader than coming up with plans. Jose does give off the feeling of luxury, but now is not the time for reminiscing on the past and thinking of what ifs. Now we have to consider what exactly the message means. Have you got anything of a similar nature from anyone else? Never wanted the crown, just the jewels. Uh, Not really actually do leader stuff. He just wanted to just plan stuff and do things he was interested in. He kind of expected to have 18 years of freedom before having to worry about that. No, this is the first time he's seen anything like this. Especially since it's not exactly supposed to exist if it really is. From a future. A future he's trying to change, and if it does, well, that version, that future, it won't exist. Will it? Time paradoxes are not my thing, but I think if this is still there unless you're receiving the message as part of that future, he's trying to change, we could say, is part of an alternate universe, otherwise the universe where it comes will exist for you to receive it or for someone to send it, is the more reliable theory. We don't mind if you indulge in luxury and free time. In fact, you still have a few more years to plan for everything, and it shouldn't take you that long to plan for everything. So procrastinate a little, enjoy the life you have been given, eat, drink, be merry today, and plan tomorrow. Also, feel free to ask others for help planning everything. You don't have to do everything yourself. She tested the beer so we don't have to think about timelines. If this from the future, we have two main questions. One, what could he be talking about? And two, what time does this come from? This is far off in the future in all likelihood, after you all reach New Earth and you actually become a leader of some sort. This would mean that you somehow failed, and that the Deshta is angry at you for doing or not doing something that harmed one of the others. Since you don't have any way of looking into the future to see what that bad something is, you can't really avoid it specifically. All that means, though, is that you have to think about what you could say or do that would result in one of your friends being hurt or killed, and learn something that will work in your advantage while not really differing from what you have been doing so far. Idiot.
Hey, Sunbutt, you've been a better member of Team Salty than me lately. Stop that.
I'm not in the mood, she, but fine. What do you want?
Stupid she, checking on him. It's not like you wanted her to carry anything. Idiot. Check chart for the beer. Sunbutt and Mike Butts.
Hey, how about we just talk about something like music instead? Distract yourself from whatever is stressing your panties.
Fine, okay. Any new songs lately?
Yeah, I've been making a lot of new stuff. I haven't recorded it yet, but I can totally send the music files over when I do.
That sounds great, actually, thanks. Your music is actually pretty good. A change from the music in documentaries, that's for sure.
I sure hope so, Sam, but I don't want my music to sound that boring.
Hey, don't call me that, Mike Butt.
Nice try, but not as catchy. Sorry. Jam session. Yes, yes! Team Salty. Mike Butt is a much better name than Sup Butt because it sounds kinda like Mukbutt. Just thought I would drop my 2 cents here. Tabir. Very nice, both of you. Great tunes. Why not ask if she has been doing anything new? Bubbled from reality.
Have you been doing anything new?
Oh, aside from these germs and diluting your salt levels so the group's blood pressure doesn't get too high, not particularly. How about you?
I've been thinking. You know about being a leader, an actual one, I mean. Not one that just tries to tell people to not tell him what to do.
Really? Well, that's certainly a first, let alone you. But I'm kind of glad you're taking it a bit more seriously. Maybe if we hadn't played it like a game, all of this business with Queenie wouldn't have happened.
I know. I just. I didn't want the responsibility, which I know is something selfish of me. To be fair, the biggest reason I got away with it was because you and the others defended me against the reality Omni Boy wanted me to face.
Yeah, I suppose, in the end, Naz was just trying to help us, even if it meant he had to be the adult for everyone.
He has the slightest feeling that if he steps down from being a leader, he'll regret it later. It's time to actually step up and try to be a leader. He'll have to start with finishing and announcing the final finished plan for New Earth. Let's do this. 24 hours.